Welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I am your humble game master, Tom, and this is adventure number 8. Glad to have you here. We are coming to you live on twitch.tv/IngloriousBards every Tuesday, 7 p.m. You can also catch our previous episodes on YouTube, as well as we are broadcast on every podcast format, I think, in the world that's out there. In addition, check us out on Twitter and Instagram, and we have a Discord with our community there. And of course, we have tons of bonus content out on our Patreon at patreon.com/IngloriousBards. Without further ado, let's get a recap of what happened in the last adventure.
Okay, so leaving Jix's brand new, very fancy house with mother and father, the defenders went down to Weaves of the World to go speak with Gremmel about getting the chalice from him that he had. When they were there, they found out that the shop was closed and they saw someone sneaking in the back. Turned out to be Phineas Tumblepot, who was another gnome who was looking to locate some sort of a power source he said belonged to him. We found the power source attached to a giant automaton, a big flaming thing that started attacking us and fighting us. We destroyed it. We took it down. Phineas took it back to his shop to say that thank you, and to kind of let us know some other things that were going on there. We got some information from him about Montre and the House of Vass. That was something that Jix knew entirely too much about, referring to himself as part of the House of Summerall. And we ended up going to the club called help me out, you guys, the Foaming Trumpets. We went to the Foaming Trumpets, which was Montre's club, burned it down. Mostly because Iggy just stormed in after him because he would not take Mouth coming back to Jix at all whatsoever. We walked out of there with a lot of gold in our pockets, but before we did, if I recall, there was Callian Varro, who stopped all of time to speak with Sildren about it and whispered a very, very haunting message at the very end, that we are being hunted now, and that one of you may betray Sildren and lead you astray. So with that information, let the adventure begin!
Inside the Foamy Trumpet, chaos reigns. People yell and scurry about the tavern, trying to deal with the damage left behind by the heroes. In the back room, Montre, the criminal gang leader and member of House Vass, sits at his desk as blood drips down his face. He drinks from a heavy bottle and glares at his plundered safe. The door to the back room opens, and in walks one of his men, a scrawny fellow with a soot-covered face. Smoke and flames out in the tavern can be seen just before the door closes.
You called for me, Montre?
Call in more men. Post guards at the doors. Lock this place down.
Of course. We should do that before or after we put out the fires raging in your tavern.
Montre throws a bottle against the wall, shattering it to pieces. His scrawny man wipes liquor from his face.
The fire situation might get better with less alcohol splattered about, sir.
They come into my tavern, a tavern everyone knows is run by House Vass, and they have the nerve to steal from me, to attack me!
Very brazen, sir. No sense of propriety. The houses deserve respect. Should I contact your father to let him know?
No. I'll handle this myself and make what happens to these thugs a lesson to the rest of the city.
You command respect and instill fear in all who know your name.
That's right. Now, who were these attackers? Where did they come from?
I counted the dwarf, the goblin, and at least one archer, and the fiery gnome.
Yes, the dwarf. He's their leader and the one I want. He tossed my table and did this. Montre shows massive bruises across his chest and arms from repeated blows with Iggy's maul. I want every man not protecting me here out on the streets looking for that dwarf. I remember exactly what he looks like and his name. Bring me Ignal Heavybringer, sailor of the Twin Seas. Take him to the torture pit. A few pulls from the hook ripper and we'll see what he's really made of.
Of course, Montre. It will be done. You'll be pulling on him in no time. Everything is well in hand.
The scrawny man scurries out the door back to the tavern where people yell in panic and a fire still burns. At the other side of the city, at a nice inn, our heroes clash tankards together, drink heavily, and cheer their victory.
Yeah! All right. Yeah.
It'll come of this.
Good work, friends. Another chalice recovered.
Iggy finishes his drink with a long gulp before reaching for another.
Hey, slow down there, Iggy. That's your second drink already.
Iggy continues drinking while holding up 4 fingers.
Friends, Iggy. Friends, I propose, with our first quest in the city taken care of, we set aside the noble heroics, just for now, and find some well-paying work for a change.
It's high time we brought in some coin.
I wouldn't say no to adding some weight to my coin purse.
Yeah, we can. Hey, how come my drink tastes like water?
Did you have something in mind, Dristle?
Just might. I recall our new friend, the inventor. What was his name again?
Oh, that's Phineas Tumblepot.
Ah, Phineas. He had some sort of work we could talk about, eh?
His place is so cool, but don't forget that we said that we would help out the kid, the Gray Wolf, by meeting his ally, Lord Lendamore. It's that guy. I kind of feel a little bad we haven't looked into that.
Iggy steals Brenrose's tankard and drinks heavily.
And I should drop by the home my order keeps here in town and ensure everything is well in hand.
Jix pulls the druid away from the rest of the group.
Children, you got a second?
Of course. What's on your mind?
I mean, we got a problem. It could be nothing, but it could be big. Maybe small.
Stop stammering. Get to it.
Well, we made a move against a house, at one of the Mearscon houses, a big move. And I mean, I'm glad we got the chalice and all that, and I'm glad everyone's safe. But you don't just kind of do that kind of thing against a noble house in Mearscon without consequences, especially house bash.
What kind of consequences?
Well, House Vash is a powerful extended family. Nobles. What else do you call them? Oh, criminals, murderers, thieves. Everyone knows if you go against one of the House Vash guys, you gotta go against the whole house. I mean, I was trying to stir up Montre, but Iggy kind of took it a step further and kind of went balls out on the guy. He's like, Igna, heavy bringer. I like twins in the sea or whatever. And he smashed the guy with small. And I mean, that might have been a mistake there, children. But the next mistake was letting Montre live. Did you see his eyes glaring at Iggy? Those were some stank eyes.
So what do we do?
I don't know. I mean, there's no unshaking the hornet's nest, I guess. I guess we just need to be careful. Maybe we should have Iggy just lay low for a day or two, cool things off, and maybe we can find some work here. But I don't know how Iggy would feel about taking some time off, Maybe we can have him stay here in this inn.
Sildren points back at the table where Iggy is passed out, surrounded by 8 tankards.
I don't think getting Iggy to stay here will be a problem.
Sir Brenrose stands over the unconscious dwarf and raises his tankard.
Gentlemen, a toast to a well-fought battle and a glorious first victory here in the city.
Everyone cheers, and tankards clash again. Come morning, Iggy is snoring loudly in his bed, and the rest of the heroes are downstairs strapping on their weapons and armor.
Morning, lads. We have a grand city before us. Where do we begin?
Remember where Phineas's place is? It's just down the street. Turn to the left, over to the other side, cross the river, go down the other alley, turn around to the brown building, but not the second brown building. Only the first one. Go to the third right, go to the second left, and then we're there.
So that was 3 rights and 2 lefts.
Well, if I mean,
After
yes,
the crossing of the bridge.
And
or
the
you can do 2
crossing.
lefts and a U-turn. However you want to do it.
No, you go down the one. Dang it, you guys!
The guild house is right there.
Xander, you're very good at explaining, but why don't you just show us the way?
Okay.
And I just follow him out the door.
Okay. You guys go out the door, and you're heading to Phineas Tumblepot's workshop. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. You make your way to his workshop, which is located in the city of Mearscon, in the lovely district known totally as the Stumps District. This is a district to the northwest part of town that has a lot of industrial work going on. There's lots of smoke coming out of these makeshift little factories, terrible smells from tanning, lots of hammering even in this morning hour. And let me bring up a little map here for anyone to take a look at if they're interested on the screen. So yeah, you guys make your way past all this very busy wagons going by loaded with lumber and metal and just a lot of industrial work happening. You make your way through. You've left Iggy to rest at the tavern to lay low, and you approach the workshop of Phineas Tumblepot. There is a lever outside a door that one of you probably needs to pull. Who's brave enough?
Should we
We're all just standing there like you know. See. Go ahead.
I get it. Beep and I. And Xander reaches out and grabs the lever.
All right, you hear a big gong sound from inside, and there is a small little panel that opens up above the door, about the size of a piece of bread, just slides open, and you can see some little horn-like shape there, and you hear a strange little metallic-y voice that says, "Hello? Who's there?"
Peep and I, friendom! This is Xander and the Defenders of the Realm!
Jix gets really close to the box to like try and see if Tumblepot's in the box.
You start looking, and you can see that he's got this set up as this cool intercom type system that looks really fancy, but in reality, it's just a metal horn, and he's right on the other side of the wall. You can see him through the hole. Hold on, I'm coming down. Hold on. And the slat
He's
closes.
got big boots on the table. He's just stomping.
And after a while, you hear another lever get pulled and some ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk sounds at the door, and the door starts to rumble open. And there you see this frumpy little gnome named Phineas, who is got some goggles on. I think Jix, you've got alchemist goggles, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a similar like workshop related like welding type goggles on his head. He's got some wild hair. He's got some big leather coveralls on, some tools in his hands, and he says, "Good morning, my friends. What brings you here? I wasn't expecting you."
Oh, no one usually is.
No one expects the Defenders of the Realm.
Yeah, go ahead, Xander.
No, I just, it's so good to see you again. What inventions do you have that are new today?
It's been like less than like 12 hours. You expect a lot, my friend.
Your magic is so cool. I remember what that
it's not magic. It's science.
How many
Science!
Science magic, right? How many red buttons are there?
No, science is not a school of magic, it's its own thing.
Yeah, science magic. It's crazy.
Why don't you come inside where it's a little more warm?
What's this button do?
No! And he gets you all in and leans over to Brenros and says, keep an eye on his hands, please, or we'll all be doomed.
I will do my best.
And Xander's just over there. He's got his key inserted and is messing with the heat rods at Chernobyl, slowly just keeping him in there too long. The whole place is about to melt down. You're inside his workshop. He does have a big fire going on at a smelter type thing. He's got some small little hammers and he's doing some work. He's got his cool little New York lofty type thing. It's a workshop with a corner for a bed, with a corner for a kitchen. He's got his little bar there with his little drink dispensing machines, and he's excited. And he also has some breakfast that's being made, and I'm imagining it just like the intro to Pee-wee's Playhouse, Pee-wee's Little Adventure. And it's just different machine is bringing the bed and bread and cracking the eggs. So he's got that going on. Would you like something to eat? It will only take 7 minutes for each of you.
Oh, I was almost impressed.
What brings you here? I'll just eat by myself. Yes.
Idrisil kind of steps forward. Mr. Tumblepot, I'm sorry you and myself didn't get off on the best of circumstances last time we met.
Yes.
I treated you unfairly. I apologize for that. I'm hoping that we can remedy the situation. I understand.
Oh, and he gives you a
That's all right. And his head is like right at my belly button. I was just, very well, and I pet him on the head, you know. I'm wondering if you can help us out. You seem like a man of knowledge in the city.
I do.
We are looking for a certain person, and we could use a keen eye at our hand and around our shoulder, but not stepping on our toes.
You say that, and you have a gnome soot smudge on your belly.
Just wash this.
Who are you looking for? I kind of keep to myself here. Not many people come to my door. I've had 2 visitors in the last month, I think. No, in the last 2 weeks, I've had about 2 visitors, and it was you both times.
We're looking for a gentleman named Yandamore. Does that name ring familiar to you?
I can't say that it does.
What can you tell us of the great houses of this city?
Well, I would tell you.
We know of Cimarol, we know of Vass.
Yes, and like I warned you, if you ever decide to go pay a visit to the Foamy Trumpet, be very cautious. Do not stir up trouble, and whatever you do, don't let them identify you. Be wary of that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't do anything like that. That's not our style.
I heard that place burnt down recently.
Really?
All kinds of filth and trouble at that place. We wouldn't go near there.
That's good to hear. That's good for your safety. Well, that House Vass, it's a collection of rich people that like to think that they're above others, yet they dabble in a lot of dangerous, deadly work. They try to make people who are working hard, honest lives pay money so that their places are not destroyed.
You mean they like bribes?
Yes, lots and lots of bribes. They have been known to control different neighborhoods with mean little thugs that punch honest little gnomes trying to get from one place to another. But they also spend, I have heard, lots and lots of money with the town guard to make all their little dealings go through. I've dealt with them in the past just to earn some money in as honest way as I can. But I would say they are possibly the second or third most powerful house in the city. but their power comes from so much danger. They can just stab you in the back when you least expect it. I
Who
think
would
my
you
dealings
say
with
is
them are
the
limited.
First most powerful house in the city.
Jix is getting all excited. I think that's up for some debate, but I believe House Nakor would be probably the first, and then House Relmar would be the second, possibly third, and House Vast would be vying for that, and then a distant, way distant fourth would be House Summerall, and that's the extent of the reasonably important houses here in the city.
So you would say that House Summerall is in like the top 100% of the 4 houses? Like it's number 4 of 4?
That math is correct, yes.
Okay. So
Xander's gotta go poof. What the hell? Jeremy just took off. All right.
I think Xander just caught a real fire or something. Oh my gosh.
Jeremy's like, my kids.
Well, welcome back.
Xander just did a few laps around the.
He's
workshop.
right. All those houses are way more powerful than Summerall. Woo. They're angry.
I don't know what's happening.
is there a house Montezuma? What's going on here?
There's a car in his living room.
He saw it come. Oh goodness.
Sorry, guys.
wow.
I needed to take some notes. I was.
All that for a freaking pencil?
That was drama.
Really important pencil.
Don't start, Tom. You know how you are with pencils.
That's true.
Is it Tom sharpened?
So Idrisil is going to say to the guys, so you mentioned that the guards are taking bribes from House Vass. What kind of jurisdiction do the guards have in the city versus the Brotherhood versus the houses? What's the connection between all of them?
I don't know anything about this Brotherhood you're talking about. I can say that the guards keep the town safe, and then you've got the soldiery of the Navaran soldiers that report directly to the Senate. And then the houses are kind of doing their own thing in between the gaps.
Wow. Just pulling up my map.
You kept looking like you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay, Yeah, let me just write this down real quick, Phineas. Yeah. So who controls which part of the city? The stump. We're in the stumps now.
Well, a lot of the
Controls
different
proper
guilds take care of their own issues around here and only call in the guards when needed. There aren't particular zones that I could say like that.
But would you say House Vass is less prevalent in certain areas of the city?
Yes, he says, looking at his map. House Vass.
This is a big map of Mearscon on the wall that we're all just pointing at.
We've all got our own maps and notes, and we're just comparing.
So if I take the tunnel south going on the C train...
The House Vass tends to run things in the high bricks and low bricks region. Probably Long Pier. I don't know about any others, but they tend to deal with more of the criminal life. I'd say.
Don't worry yourself about it too hard. But I do
don't want to deal with the criminal life.
No. I greatly appreciate your candor here, Phineas. What projects are you working on currently that we could help assist you with, possibly?
I'm working on doing some metal to try and create a framework that would actually make that balloon backpack that I provided to your friend there a little more stable in a future iteration. You could certainly help me with pouring some of this metal. It's a little heavy sometimes, and my lever action doesn't quite pour it.
What do you mean stable? Shay, Shay, I was going to use it later today. Would it be unstable?
It would be, using your math, it would be 100% stable. Using goblin math. Perfect. Oh, wait, there was something. There was, do you know that beneath the city there are dangerous and wondrous things? The city was built on old temples and magical summoning chambers and an underground river, I hear, and all sorts of oddities lie beneath the city. So I'm told by a friend of mine who is in the Arcana Society, and he had someone drop by recently. Some sewer workers who were doing repairs when they broke through into a chamber beneath the city. They said they found some sort of stone down there that was of interest to my friend, but he came to me because they said scattered around the stone were little slivers of blue that I believe to be more Dinobrian. What the hell was it? Dinobrian shards.
Dinobrian shards.
Yes, those are the ones I was telling you about that are far more stable than the one that was in the automaton that we dealt with yesterday. And I've almost got things perfected for this new power source. And if I could get my hands on 2 or 3 of those, ooh, that would be delightful. Just delightful.
You're not going to make any more of those big robot things, though.
No. I've got all new robot things I'll be working on.
No, that's fine then.
Okay, good. But my friend says that that stone mentions something about an old treasure, and I thought perhaps you could go get whatever that treasure is. You could take notes on the stone and the writings and make a diagram. That's what my friend wants at the Arcana Society. And then while you're there, pick up a couple of the Dinobrian shards, and everyone comes out on top.
Jix is really good at taking notes.
Excellent.
Dinobrian shards.
I'm confused.
I think it's good. It's good.
Wonderful.
If we were to go investigate this, what is our path into the, I guess the sewer is where we would need to go?
If you're so inclined, again, the payment required for this information, you will get this supposed treasure. He didn't go into details, but said he would forego it as long as he could get my friend any historical significance about the stone. He says that the work was being done underneath the amphitheater at the Gardens District.
Okay.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
I don't.
Is this
know what that
important?
is.
But, well, I don't know. We don't have anything else to do. Why Easter there kind of sleeps off his hangover.
We have a lot to do. We have to go talk to the
Lord?
Yes, the Lord, the Yendamore.
Have you talked to the Lord
Have you
recently?
talked to the
Have you met my Lord Leandamore? He knows you.
Different kind of side quest.
It was important that we see Yendamore, Lord Yendamore.
Leandamore. How many times?
Leandamore?
Yes.
I've got to get this name correct. Yes, there was that. It was very
Idrisil puts a hand on Brenner's shoulder. Friend, worry not. Should we find ourselves down in the tunnels, we'll help out our friend Phineas here. I'm sure it's not a task he's needing us to put at our utmost priority right now. Hey, Phineas? And I'm trying to push him off of me a little bit.
Certainly, as long as no one else is looking for this treasure, I don't see any huge rush, but obviously I'm eager to get a hold of the shards for my work. But yes, I mean, you're kind of doing this on good faith, so there's no demands upon your dangerous work.
I mean, you could give us a little something up front just for lunch money.
Yeah, I could.
Well, I think we're done then.
Phineas,
payment. There's that.
He
button
tickles
there.
Jix's hand.
Don't do that.
perhaps you could point us in one more direction. We are looking for someone in the city, and you say you do not get out very much, but do you know anybody who has a good ear to the ground, a pulse on the city, so to speak?
Someone who could fix our way around?
In what way? I feel like you're trying to tell me something, but I don't quite know.
We're looking for, as I said, we were looking for someone, and I am hoping you might be able to tell us of someone who would help us find that person.
Hang on.
Someone familiar with the city.
You want us to find someone to help us find someone because we haven't found someone that we're looking for talking to?
Pointing at Xander. Yes, that's exactly right.
Xander walks around and stands next to Phineas.
Say it in Gnomish. Whatever you're going to say it in Gnomish.
We're looking for someone to find the someone that we're looking for.
I don't know him, but I know someone who can find. No.
Right. And that's who I'm looking for.
You need a guy. You need
Who are you
guy who
looking
knows a
for?
guy.
I can
He's
tell
looking
you
for outside
who
of
I go to.
us. Yeah, I don't know.
And who
Would
do
that-
you go to?
I go to a man by the name of Tarkan.
And if we were so inclined, where could we find this man named Tarkan?
At another fantastically named place called the Clumsy Duck Tavern. Yes!
I'm sure there won't be any puns on that. Okay.
You can find that just southeast of here in Hybrix. It's a little bit of a sketchy place, but he if I throw a few coins his way, he sometimes finds a buyer for me here or there for some odds and ends.
I've come in Tarkan's back door once or twice. I know where it's at.
Why is everyone making that face?
No reason, Xander. Thank you, Phineas. We appreciate your help and have a good day.
Thank you, and good luck finding those shards.
Finish, you're a friend of the defenders of the realm now.
Oh, you! And he puts a fresh face on your shirt. You guys
We need like a
leave?
special signet ring or something for.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, Jix, you did not get any coins, obviously, from Phineas, but you did get some coins you counted last night from the save. You counted that last night. It came to the paltry small sum, unfortunately, of only 95 gold coins.
Yeah, all right.
All right, Jix puts it all in his pouch.
All right, done.
Wait, what?
No time. We'll just divide it up later. It's fine.
Jix only knows how to divide by one. Goblin math strikes again.
Don't worry about it. We'll get it divided up later.
Mm-hmm. We'll hold you to that.
So
And
on the
now
way
where are we
to
off to?
Hybrix.
So we have it seems like 2 options in the city to go see Tarkane, to try to track down Leandramore, or to look for these shards in this treasure under the amphitheater.
I would also like to find some time to go back to my house, the Order's house, and inquire further there. When we have time, I know we've done so much on...
Surely between Brenros, between your noble quest, between our new allegiance to King Phaon, finding his flag, of course, talking to Yandamore, we have many missions to accomplish.
The destruction of the chalice this last night was the most glorious thing I could have asked for. Only one remains, and I look forward to chasing that down with you all eventually. So I'm willing to spare a little time for other activities.
And of course, Sildren, we have the dreams that you keep having. The stupid bear that you confused me for the other night. That was horrible.
You weren't complaining then.
Be my bear.
Just when you guys were sharing the bed. Idrisil was the bear.
It's why I don't date druids.
At the claws. All right.
But surely this Tarkan can help us accomplish all of these goals. No, we need an eye in the city, other than Jix, of course. We need someone who's here, who's been here, who knows the city well, to show us around.
Come on, let's just go say hi.
It would probably require us to be diplomatic, looking at Jix mostly.
What? Oh, sure. You need me to say things. I can say things. Look.
It's
Philanthropy.
more need somebody to not say certain things.
No, the goal here is simply gather information, no intimidation.
And no burning down of buildings.
All my firebombs missed. It wasn't me.
When your firebombs miss, they go someplace.
Towards Hybrix, I suppose, to the clumsy duck. Is that
All
what
right.
it is, right? Yeah.
There you guys heading?
Yeah.
All right. You guys head. It's not too far of a walk. You go through the streets of town. Rain starts to fall again and really pick up quite a bit. You throw your hoods over and try to stay dry. I don't know if Brenrose has a hood, but he definitely can reactive strike with his shield with the rain as it comes down. And you make your way through some of the narrow streets. And at one point, you see up ahead, you think you're heading the right direction because he gave you some rough location that Jix can follow. You see up ahead, there is a person, 2 people that are walking. There's a bunch of people, but you notice 2 people in particular that are some distance away walking, staying close to each other, talking to each other, that are wearing thick yellow cloaks.
Hey, don't those guys look like the...
Jix's balloon
What is
has
it,
popped a
Jix?
leak.
Why is your
Got a
finger in
shark.
my helmet?
Better off not to ask questions. Yeah, we'll kind of make sure we're staying low profile as we pass by the guys in yellow.
Brenrose
All right.
sees these guys in yellows. Would he recognize them from the other night if they are in fact similar in that regard?
Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes, and yes.
What kind of shops and establishments are on the street that we're on right now?
You're looking for open doors? Yoink. Oh, candles are lovely.
Yeah, more of something to distract us while we're talking. Oh, look at the swords in that window or whatever.
Sure. There's a general there's a general store nearby. There's also several horses that are tied off next to a trough nearby, and then there's a butcher on the other side of the street who's outside slaughtering a pig in this delightful, scrappy neighborhood.
You don't want the stables and the butcher right next to each other.
Yeah, it just kind of fakes pulling Jix away from like going towards the horses as we walk by closer to these guys in the yellow cloaks.
Okay.
These yellow cloaks. These are from the tavern from before. They were casting the darker magics.
Yeah.
It's best we keep an eye on them, but
Well, what do we do about it?
nothing for now.
Nothing.
Nothing.
For now, we can't make a scene.
That, or we follow them to their destination and see if we can.
What are you guys all whispering about?
We're talking about the yellow
Like jumping up in the huddle. Xander, do you recognize those two guys over there?
Those guys?
Shut up! Jenner! Listen,
Jix motions for everyone to huddle.
right, everyone, let's touch butts here.
An inconspicuous ball of men.
Yeah, this is not.
Very well armed men and gnomes and
This is being
goblins.
pulled down
Every so
into
often
a huddle.
head
Like,
pokes out,
I don't
looks at
want
them.
I don't want to huddle. Like,
We just pissed off a lot of guys last night. You know, I maybe did not consider, the consequences.
They had the chalice.
That we did, but, if,
We lit that place up, am I right?
yeah, so, but,
Hicks, you seem very worried about something.
well, I showed my ring to the barkeep. So if he is still alive and that word gets around that someone from House Summerall was there last night, I'm a little worried for my pops and mother.
Not mother. She's the best. Is she in danger? Did we just put her in danger?
Well-
Are we the bad guys?
I mean, life is gray, Jenner. You'll learn as you get older that morals can bend and ethics are, well, what you make of them. But in short, no, we're still the defenders of the realm. I'm just a little worried about my folks.
All the while, the yellow cloak guys are like right here, just
Yeah.
like,
What are you whispering about?
Taking an interest.
Pay your family a visit, Jix, and
that's all
so
the way
they can
back
be
in Thale.
prepared.
that would seem very important.
I think you're okay for now. I just think we should just not cause more trouble at the moment.
At the mention of the word trouble, Brenrose turns around and tries to find where the yellow cloak guys are going.
They are walking across the street, and they appear to be stopping in each alleyway and peering down on their side of the street, as though looking for something.
Have they seen us?
They have not. There's still a bit of a crowd. Another
Otherwise, they
wagon
would
goes
not be
by.
doing that. They would be looking at us, I think.
I'm playing it out here. All right.
They're like, be cool, pretend we're looking down the alleyway.
There's no one else here.
It just still sees Brenrose break from the huddle and kind of a little bit louder, just says, guys, what do we do without Iggy? We can't go after two wizards and a whole city without the big guy. Brenrose, your heart's in the right
I
place.
mean, we could.
We could follow them if you guys wish, but we can't take serious action.
Let's see what opportunity presents and follow them.
If one evil word escapes their lips, it will be the last.
What if we wear disguises? Xander runs into the general store.
It just does this and reveals a dress. No, okay.
Xander, you go into the general store, and the two yellow guys are talking with the butcher right now, getting closer and closer to your huddled group. Xander, what are you doing in the general store?
Xander is looking for a pair of goggles, big leather gloves, and some sort of what would be a fancy looking belt that would have tools in it, so he could dress up like his version of Phineas Tumblepot.
Oh, okay. Including tools, that'll be 12 silver in total.
It's 12 silver?
Yes.
You're a very nice man, and I appreciate where you're coming from with that, but I have 10 silver, all for you. 10 right here for these.
The haggling continues as the yellow guys are chatting with the butcher, and then they start looking around and see the 1, 2, 3,
No,
4.
Sildren disperses before that, so.
All right.
He goes, bird! You smell
I don't really turn in the bird, I just do that.
He just starts flapping. Caw-caw!
Leaving little white marks everywhere. All right. Yeah, they are. Well, who's together? Did you guys all scatter? What's going on?
So Xander, I guess, kind of went in there, just ran in there. I'm heading in there, but if they see me, they see me. You know?
I know one person who's there. They look over and see an old man in armor just staring right at them from across the
road. I'm looking around for Xander, but I can't really break eye contact with them as they look out of place and are wearing yellow.
And they now are walking over across the street through the rain over towards you, Sir Brenros. One of them sides up next to you and says, "Hey, old man, what you doing here?"
Brenros looks to each side. Are they abreast to him, or are they just...
They are standing right in front of you. You have none of your allies in visual range. You do hear a creak of a bow or two in the distance, but you don't see anyone.
As any wise person would be, I'm standing out of the rain. And he backs up so he's under the awning.
He adjusts his helmet and visor and water pours out of it.
It's not a good design.
You seen any goblins today?
Goblins? No. Yes. Maybe. Why?
I was going to ask you to make a deception roll, but you covered the whole basis of the answers.
I can't lie if I'm telling the truth. Who wants to know?
That's like a game you just went through every answer before you could continue.
House Vass wants to know, did you see a goblin or not?
It's a big city. I've seen lots of goblins. Why are you looking for a goblin in this god-awful weather?
The other guy turns to his friend and says, this old guy ain't got nothing. And they turn and walk away. They are within 5-foot reach of you, Brenros, and they are slowly getting out of weapon range.
When I get surprised?
Oh, yeah. And they walk away and they go down to the next store and they pop in the door of that store and they're having some conversation with the storekeeper in there.
Jix pops out from behind a horse.
Yeah, just so turns around and sees that they're walking away from Brenros now, and is just like, now I'll walk up to Brenros.
And don't come back!
Brenros, what happened?
They're looking for chicks, I think. A goblin. Not many goblins I've seen.
That can't be a coincidence, can it? Where did he run off to?
I don't know where, but if he's hiding, it's good enough.
You hear some strange plopping defecation noise. You look over and you see Jix is behind a horse, but the horse isn't pooping.
Now the phrasing is, but the horse isn't.
Yes. Exactly. I'm over here, guys.
I need a
Jix.
bigger bottle.
I found a shard.
Jix, you said you were going to the butcher shop.
Well, I'm on my way.
Jix, they're looking for you.
No.
Yes,
Might be.
Mr.
Hey,
High,
goblin.
look at my ring. Of course they're looking for you. And Iggy, probably.
Good morrow, fellow citizens. My name is Crumber, And I'm looking for some good lizard on a stick with hot mustard. Have y'all seen anything? Pew, pew, pew. Look at my tinky tanks. I got a Gidget Rizmo right here. Huh? Wait, you didn't know it was me, did you? I got a gizmo right here and my tinky tanks. I think these are used for something in sex.
Now, I'm not a fancy tinkerer here in town, but
What kind of general store is this?
Pretty general.
Genital shark?
Xander, the price was non-negotiable. It was 12 silver.
12 silver spent. Well spent.
All right, and you can see those two yellow guys. They're just very slowly going from store to store to store and checking each alleyway.
Well, if they are looking for you, we're going to have to be extra careful.
Or dispense
I know
with
you'll
them.
be able to slip in and out of cover and hiding.
I mean, that's what I do, kind of, sometimes.
But they know who you are? Or are they just looking for a goblin?
Did they ask for me by name?
No name.
No names?
No name. Just
No
a
Jix?
goblin.
No Summerall?
Not that I heard.
That makes me feel a little better. Why don't we see what we can come up with today, and then I'll go back and check on Mother this evening.
All right.
So we're going to Tarzan? Was it Tarkan?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that what we
Yeah.
decided?
Clumsy duck still, right?
So we're gonna ignore the guys in yellow and go about our day.
Well, I was about to say, Sildren had a look of, I want to go get them on his face just then. So
A little bit.
Idris was looking still at Brainrose and Sildren to see, where their minds are at, what they want to do, because they're not walking too fast.
Well, I have a growing concern. The men in yellow here are looking for a goblin. I have to keep an extra eye out for chicks here.
You want to
What
be
I-
better? You could
What
use
was
my
that?
gloves.
No.
What are those gloves made of?
Yellow.
Well, if you want to follow them, we can do that.
Follow
I
them.
say stay away from the yellow guys.
Then to Tarkan it is.
Tarkan.
All right, you guys head towards the Clumsy Duck Tavern. It is not far, and you are grateful to get out of the rain. It is a rather narrow tavern that is long, and there is a bar about midway through that takes up the entire space. There's a few tables at the front, a few tables at the back. You check with the bartender, and he points to the back table where there is a older man smoking on a pipe, keeping to himself, and reading a book, and has a little glass of wine that apparently he's drinking from, and he sees a lot of you approach. He is a darker skinned fellow, looks like he's been out in the sun for many, many years, and is dressed pretty nice for this kind of downtrodden neighborhood. And again, smoking from a pipe and just kind of relaxing, and closes his book, puts a little bookmark there and closes it and looks up.
When we were talking to the bartender, how much for a bottle of the wine that Tarkan is currently drinking?
Ooh, that is a great question. Have we ever done anything like that?
Xander is an alcohol expert.
It's
That's true. That is true. A bottle of wine, for him, he drinks it at 2 silver pieces for a bottle.
So I'll buy a bottle from him, and as we go over, I'll have that bottle with me.
All right. He looks up and says, "Well, good morning."
Good morning, friend. And I set the bottle of wine down on the table.
This is for me.
Of course that says. May we have a seat with you?
If you can find enough chairs and enough good stories to share, then yes.
I think we can find both. I'm looking around, hoping there's enough chairs.
Is there a
Jix
window
is
in
already
this
sitting
place?
across from him.
No, because it's really super narrow.
Really super narrow.
Yeah, it's like one of those weird restaurants in downtown Portland. You know, they're just really narrow, and you can barely. There's only like 6 tables and the line outside. It's that kind of.
Then
a vibe.
Brenros in his heavy armor will stay at the end near the door.
All right.
And just stand there.
Yeah, just was going to take a table, like just the table next to them,
Okay.
so he can put his feet up.
All right. That leaves the other 3: Xander, Jix, and Sildren sitting down with Tarkan.
We'll have a seat, I guess.
You sit down next to him. What do I owe this pleasure? My name is Tarkan.
Arcan, I am Sildren. These are my companions, Jix and Xander. A mutual friend of ours, Phineas, sent us your way.
And how can I help?
We are looking for a specific person and he said you are a person of means and knowledge, and we were hoping you might be able to help us.
Emotions for the bartender, who brings over a couple of glasses and shares his bottle of wine with you.
Oh, yes, please.
None for him.
Josh, what are you reading there, Tarkan?
A book called The Good Times. It's a fun little fantasy about a young man enjoying his wild early days. I find it's a fun escape for myself.
A fun times. I'll have to put that on my list. Have you read Apples of Apathy?
I can't say that I have.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Well, I can tell
About
you...
Bananas of Boredom.
Horses of Entropy.
Shades of Gray. He says, I can tell you that I know my way about this town without really moving much from my favorite chair here. And while I appreciate this bottle, the names I am able to deliver come with a steep price of 2 things. 1, a price of around a gold for a name that you require, and 2, that you do not share anything at all like of a name like you just did as to how you found me.
That is fair.
Jix
And I'll-
gives stink eye to this to whatever your name is.
Sildren?
Tarkan?
Sildren.
We are looking for kind of a friend of a friend, so to speak. The name is Leandramore.
They always are. Leanne Dramore.
Eandramore?
I know of an
Andramore?
Andramore.
And Jix, by the way, has pulled out gold.
Okay.
Leanne Draymore is an ex of mine, but I'm not going to.
He says, I know of a Lord Eandamore.
That is...
I was right. Brenros calls out of the
From the front of the room.
Aha!
That is who we are hoping to meet, yes.
I know exactly where that gentleman is. He can be found in the Thale district. He lives in an estate called Elderbrook.
Does Jix recognize that name?
No. You know the district of Thale, but not the estate that he is at. Thale is a really nice part of town. That's where your family
Yeah, isn't that
I
where
believe.
Yeah.
the Summerall house is?
Yes. Never got invited to their parties.
Probably a reason.
No, they're goblinists.
And he takes the gold.
Yeah, and Sildren will pop him up another one. So we appreciate your time and your candor and your discretion as well.
He nods and takes the second gold coin. He says, well, that sounds like you're ending our meeting, and so I thank you again for your company and for the wine.
And thank you. And Sildren will excuse himself, and on the way out, he'll buy him another bottle of wine, from the bartender, and just send it over after we're already gone.
Nice. Suave.
Man, I was about to do that same thing.
Oh, shoot, he took my move.
No, hey, whatever gets the job done.
You guys grab Brenros on the way out, and what's the plan? It's still raining pretty heavily.
Heading to the Elderbrook Estates, I guess.
Okay.
The guards or the yellow cloaks are gone, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you don't see them anymore.
Okay.
All right, you guys head across town to the Thale district.
One sec.
You do not do what I just said.
Where's this?
We're in
Garden
Hybrix
District.
right now.
Are we close to the Garden District versus Thale?
We'd have to go like across the river, across the bridge, I'm guessing, a couple districts over.
So it's out of the way? Okay.
It's
like the opposite way of where we're going.
Okay, carrying on then.
Or where we
All right.
want to go.
You guys head up north to the north part of the city to the Thale district. There are much larger houses, nicer places, walled off courtyards and compounds. There are occasionally some. Where is it? Thale. There are some. There's a big university-looking place. The streets are well maintained. There's not a lot of mud and stuff. Everything's paved in big, thick cobblestone. You see more. You didn't see any guards at all walking around the Hybrix district, which is the more slummy part of town. Out here, you see several of them walking around from here to there. So it's a much more respectable place. And asking around in town there, you're able to quickly find the Elderbrook estate. It is a large mansion, multi-story. It has a small garden around it that's not walled in any way. The rain continues to pour. You can see through some of the windows. There's some fine draperies. The architecture looks very classic style, and you guys have arrived.
Jix. Is there a gatehouse, or are we at
Nope.
the front door?
Nope.
Okay. Jix raps on the door.
All right. You knock upon the door, and after a slightly uncomfortably long time, right before you're about to knock again, the door opens up, and inside you see a well-dressed old manservant standing there, and he says, "Good morning. How may I help you?"
Master of the house, please.
Who may I say is calling?
Jix.
Of course. He looks inside at the dry foyer, looks at the five of you outside, and closes the door. You wait out in the rain, and after a while, the door opens up again and says, "Lord Iandamore is not receiving a Jix today. May I pass on a message I'm sure is of quite some import?"
Sorry, I didn't speak loudly enough. Jix of House Summerall.
Hold, please. He closes the door again on you. You're stuck out in the rain. The door opens up a bit, and you see the Old manservant still standing there. Behind him in the foyer, by some stairs, is another older guy dressed really well with a well-kept gray beard, and he's got a cup in his hand, and he's kind of watching from the distance. And the manservant opens the door all the way and says, "Please, won't you come in?"
Yes.
And
Sildren will prestidigitation himself dry, I guess, as he's going in.
All right.
You know. Yeah.
You can do that? Xander tries to
fireballs his head.
Jix, you go
Way to dry
inside
off.
first. Make an acrobatics roll, please.
Acrobatics. That's 22.
22. You slip a little bit on these freshly waxed floors with your wet boots, but you keep your calm and stay on your feet. Everyone steps in, some more dry than other. Sildren has that wind blown. I put my head in the dryer in the bathroom. The servant closes the door behind you, and Sir Brenrose takes his accustomed spot as a suit of armor next to the door.
If shit ever gets bad, he just closes up.
That's how you know things are going down. It's just like chink.
The visor comes down. This older man, still some distance away, drinking from his fancy little cup, says, "Well, good morning. I hear that I have a visitor from House Summerall," and he looks at Sildren.
Jix also looks at
Xander turns and follows Jix Jays to Sildren.
I am myself, Sildren, Druid of the 7th Conclave. This is Jix of House Summerall, Xander of Edlinholme, Sir Brenrose Aldermain, Idrisil of, I don't know where you, Edlinholme as well, I suppose.
I'm an elf.
And we are defenders of the realm.
Are you?
We are actually, and we have been sent to, and we were hoping to speak with you on some important matters.
I'm a bit busy this morning. Perhaps you could tell me what this is about. I don't normally take guests so early.
A mutual acquaintance.
He says to Jix, who was identified as House Summerall.
Thank you, Sultan. So we were pointed your direction by a mutual friend, and we are looking for some charts, and
Jix, do you know why we're here? This is Lord Ian Moore.
Oh, that's
Friend of the Grey Wolf.
Grey Wolf.
Wrong side quest. Sorry.
Main quest line.
So, we're friends of the wolf.
You're friends of the wolf.
The Grey Wolf.
We're champions of the Grey Wolf.
He
Very helpful of someone who had some sort of necklace with a wolf sigil on it could pull it out right now.
He just grabs you all talk.
He grabs onto an amulet hanging from his neck and holds onto it fairly tightly and says, "So you are hunting alongside some wolf? You are..."
What was the phrase?
They all just kind of stare at each other.
I have my notes over
The
there.
what? There's a phrase?
Yes.
the thing that
the Grey Wolf is on the hunt.
The Grey Wolf is on the hunt, you say?
Yes.
That is very, very good news, my new friends.
Oh, that's not
Please,
it.
Please come in.
That's a different thing. Okay.
Please come in more. Take your shoes off and stay. Chumley, fetch some warm drinks for these men. Come inside. I'm very intrigued. I was not expecting a guest such as this. What an interesting turn of a morning. And he motions you to come into a long meeting room with a big long table and some big fancy chairs, portraits up there of different people doing heroic deeds, standing boldly with a sword or reading from a big scroll in some public space. And he has you guys all come inside and says,
Wolf is on the hunt. I got it. Sorry, go ahead.
he says, I'm so sorry. I see if I have the names right. We have Jix, a Sildren, a Xanarman, and I'm afraid, Sir Knight, your name eludes me.
Brenros Aldremain. Sir Brenros Aldremain.
Sir, most excellent. And then you were Iglysil, I believe he said. It's a pleasure. Idrisil, my mistake. It is a wonderful pleasure. I had no idea. The wolf was already sending folks to Mearscon. Is he within the city walls now? Is something happening now?
No.
That's
We're
awesome.
sort of what you would consider an advanced element of more to come.
We're like harbingers.
That's a good one. Yes. Harbingers.
Dark. And how is he?
He's alive.
So barely alive.
Has something befallen him?
A lot of storage befell him. Arrows.
He is well and recovering. There was some trouble in Tabernary.
The old man still has some fight left in him.
Indeed,
I
he
have
does.
no doubt.
We even fought a wyvern.
That sounds impressive. I heard it as wyvern, but in any case,
almost as impressive as wyvern.
in any case,
It's more a cousin to the wyvern. It's
well, you are most welcome here at Elderbrook. I demand that you stay here in my good graces and company. I will have rooms prepared. Chumley, prepare rooms for our guests. One for each, please. Warm the beds. And you will stay here. And by my life, he draws a knife and stabs it into his expensive table. I will protect you with my life while you are here at my estate for any noble heroes who help the Grey Wolf in his glorious quest.
Does Jix feel like, looking at this frail old man, that means much?
Maybe?
Okay. Thanks for the offer. We'll definitely take those rooms.
Absolutely. My home is yours.
Long live the Grey Wolf.
I'll drink to that. Chumley, drinks! Chumley turns around and goes gets more drinks. So, what are you about? What is your mission?
Well, we're doing lots of things right now. One of them was to pass the message along to you about the Grey Wolf, and we're doing some other stuff, and then there's a side job, and I stopped by to see my folks, and that's it.
So you've just recently arrived in the city.
Yeah, just this morning, in fact.
Oh, all right. Well, I can tell you that the Grey Wolf has got the Senate starting to get riled up. There's some rumors and talk going around. I deal a lot with the political circles here in the city, and they are aware that he is returned within the Kingdom of Navarre. They are getting a little nervous. I'm getting the idea that there are some proactive steps they might be taking. I just don't know exactly what they are. But with you here, that is great. We have a few other members of the Wolves here in the city that do work to help the king's progress. And I have no doubt that we will be gloriously victorious in not too distant of time where the king can take his rightful place. I pine for that day. I pine for that day.
You seem to be a very loyal subject of the wolf.
As every good citizen of this kingdom should be, this wretched bureaucracy of the Senate, their greed and making sure that they are taken care of far beyond the people. We have suffered. There are parts of the city that have flourished, those that attend to the Senate, but everyone else in the city struggles for the last 20 years without our good king here. And those beyond the city are barely a thought at all. These are not good times for Navarre, but they will be again.
Lady Endemore, I have a question for you if I can. There's other allies of the wolf. You just mentioned now that there's a few here. What do you know of Lady Talmadren?
Lady Talmadren? Yes.
Oh, that one, yes.
Yes, Lady Talmadren. She is an interesting one. I think she would certainly be one for you to reach out with. But it depends. What are your fortes? I see honor and nobility. I see guile. I hear mention of magic of a natural sort, and I see more than a fair share of bows and arrows. Where are your skills?
That's pretty much covered it.
Oh, all right.
I have been known to be a storyteller a couple of times in my day. Look at my tinky tanks.
Oh, I think those are used for something else, but yes. I think there is need for those who have the strength, and need for people who have courage and honor like you, Sir Brenrose. There is also need for those who have guile, wit, and more than their fair share of diplomacy.
What about need for guys that can make things from junk and bits and pieces of excrement and
You are a hilarious one. Yes, you are.
So what about those?
I can't imagine that being of much use, but I'll tell you what. I will send for a man who is in charge of the small wolf operation here in the city. Chumley, bring Devere here as soon as possible. Chumley stops bringing in drinks, goes back out. He can bring you abreast of the situation. He always has dangerous work that's afoot. But to go back to your question, friend Gnome, Lady Talmadren, she is one of the few ladies of lineage that has carried on the king's right to vote and control decisions made by the Senate. There's an old archaic method where the king makes decisions, the Senate can overrule in some ways, the king can overrule, and it's quite complicated. But the end result is everything the Senate does must be approved by the king. who has not been here for quite some time, obviously. And that responsibility has fallen upon his, I wouldn't say dearest, but most connected relative who hasn't spent a lot of time with him, but she has kept her distance from all the affairs. She shows up to every vote by the Senate. She has not voted for or against anything and has simply abstained the king's vote for many, many years now, which has allowed the Senate to do whatever they have wanted without having to declare a full-on change of leadership, if you will, and anything that might involve that, revolts and danger and who should be king now. She has just kept things going. I'm not quite sure where her allegiance lies, but her voting power is substantial if she were ever to use it. I just don't know which way she would use it.
Why would you think she would hold her tongue?
What do you mean?
She has essentially been given the stewardship of Mearscon. Why do you believe she would hold back her vote for so long?
I don't know. There are many reasons why. But taking this power and making decisions, she has not had any interest in it. But I can tell you, she would be a valuable ally if we could win her to our cause due to what she can do with the vote. But she is not here in the city. She is outside, several hours outside in her own estate. I would suggest at some point paying the good lady a visit. She comes to the city only when there is important business for her not to vote on. But I would caution you, she has already spurned me from time to time and is through with my silliness years ago. Otherwise, I would be wooing her myself, but she does not need swords or honor. She does not need what did you say, someone who makes junk out of things? She does not need any of that.
Oh. The Grey Wolf told us that she is most loyal to family and a lover of her luxuries.
I would concur with that. Cold, hard facts, directness has never suited her. I have had to grab her by the shoulders in a bygone age and tell her this must be done, and she does not care for that. Yes?
I'm sorry. I apologize. Does she have family within the city?
No, she does not.
Where did she stay?
She is at an estate, and he gives you the directions outside of town, down a long, lonely road into a nice part of the vineyard country, about half a day away from the city.
Okay.
Well, I would say, as we've already mentioned, the wolf is on the hunt. Start to, I guess, gather allies and prepare as much as you may for his arrival in due time.
Well, let us get to know one another, and let's start with some lunch. We will get some rooms. Chumley, prepare some lunch! And Chumley stops going out the front door to get the other man and comes back inside.
Finally, lunch, because I am hungry like the wolf.
You guys are made as comfortable as can be. You sit down and chat with Lord Yendamore over lunch. It's a fine spread, not as good as Mother's, but a fine spread. And you spend a good part of the afternoon there. He shows you to your rooms. He shows you his place. You have the full run of it. It's a really nice place. It's just him and Chumley that are here. He shares some of his escapades with the king back in the day, but they're all more political and that kind of boring stuff. Nothing crazy and heroic. But he has nothing but praise and great things to say about King Phaon throughout the whole conversation. He does get quiet about the king and his name anytime Chumley enters the room. He's very protective of the secrecy of this operation. And then he lets you know, Chumley lets you know that the member of the Wolf will be there at this estate this evening.
Given everything that's going on here with the comings and goings and being shown about the house, does there seem to be a strong legitimacy to his claims of not only just being this dear friend to the king? Does a lot of this seem to back up just going around his house? Like, is Brenros picking up on anything that seems out of place for what he's been talking about with the King of Navarre?
No, not at all. Everything seems to be on the up and up. He even reveals some hidden portraits that are covered in cloth. He brings them has Chumley bring them out of the storage area without looking at them. When Chumley leaves, he reveals portraits of him and the king and some other people in a ceremony, and regales you again with lots of tales of their political conquests back in the day. So, anything you guys want to do?
Well, I just was going to ask him, what was your specialty in assisting the king?
My specialty was trying to, how would you say it, gather or wrangle different senators to one cause or the other to benefit the king. His law, his rule, his law, his orders are done. He is the king, but you also need the Senate to be guiding their people and their constituents and not to be working against him. And some may say that perhaps I have failed in that way over the years, as this Senate is not the same anymore. They are different men in more ways than one.
With the Grey Wolf not in power, I'm sure it's been difficult to maintain control.
It was not only difficult to maintain control, it's been difficult to maintain the spirit and the respect for the king. Not only do you have new blood instead of young men who have fought alongside him who are now old, there are new young men that know not much of him. We do what we can and recruit them into the wolves with the tails, but also over the years trying to explain to senators and members of the different houses and just the people of Mearscon why their king has just gone year after year after year has not been easy.
You seem to have a lot of fervor for the king. Why were you not chosen as steward?
It comes down to a bloodline that I do not possess. I am of quality blood, but not one that can easily be traced directly to the lineage of the king.
Lord Yandamore, should we find ourselves in good favor with Telmadrin, could we count on your company, possibly to assist us in convincing her to see things the way that the king sees them again?
You have my service and skills and resources at your disposal. I would strongly recommend you do not in any way bring me over toward the good lady's estate. She was not pleased some 6 years ago when last we met. I fear that would spoil any chances.
I'm hoping that if we find ourselves in good favor with her, we'll be able to bring her to you.
That might work. If you are as skilled with the tongue as you seem to be here, Idrisil. Jake's shaking his head no.
You can check my record in tavernry if you don't.
assassinating.
I'm hit or miss. You know, I'm 50-50 on my diplomacy. Yeah, and I just keep walking across. Oh, that's a lovely statue. Where'd you...
Any other things you guys want to ask him?
We're waiting for Devere to come here. Is that correct?
Yep.
Which apparently he's going to be here in the evening, which I think gives us time to check out the Denobrian shards underneath the amphitheater.
We also have a missing member of our party who seems to be sleeping off a night of heavy drink. Surely he could be in better company if he were here instead of some rundown inn.
I think he's safer just staying where he's at rather than trying to move him right now. Don't you think?
It's very much your town, just with the promise of protection, but I could see your point. Brenros backs off and sheathes his sword.
Brenros is looking for a fight.
That's why I dressed up in this.
Okay, where exactly is the amphitheater? That's still in Thale?
It's in Hybrix.
Okay.
No, wait, hold on.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Under Gardens District. It is in the Gardens
that's-
District,
Okay.
under the amphitheater.
South side, it's across the river.
Man, we are walking
it's across the river.
we are trying to go all over this town.
Yeah, it's a freaking walking tour.
And it's actually across two kind of rivers, and I don't know of another bridge that is there another bridge besides the one at Long Pier?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Plenty of them. Okay, you guys are heading towards there, the amphitheater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think traveling rather as incognito as we can as a group. So I imagine not exactly.
Yeah, pew pew pew.
Yeah, is Xander still wearing all of the accoutrement? Yeah, because
He's
you bought it,
still
right?
dressed up like a
the bandolier with all sorts of whatever.
Good enough.
like a weird fantasy cowboy
Good to know.
with some
Clumping.
assless chaps.
He's just walking.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
But it's got pseudo-sexual flair, so it's like, he's a tube-top cowboy.
It's the only thing that would fit my size.
That's a baby doll shirt. All right.
I say that all the time, Santa. All the
It's
time.
the only gnome in town with the word juicy on the
Oh my.
Oh.
He was told one thing when he was being sold it and didn't understand the meaning behind it. It wasn't a general store at all. All right.
Place the back of your pants face down.
He's got spike colors. He's got the whole thing.
Are those assless Splint Man?
He's got a leather cap on. All right.
Are we going to Jick's
So
parents in Thale, or are we going all the way to the gardens?
No, we're going to the gardens, I believe.
All right.
Well, what time is it?
It's
just
just after lunch.
Yeah, it's like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, let's go to the gardens.
Okay.
All right.
You guys head south through the whole city. You pass through the Lycilian district, which is made up of all sorts of big, strong government buildings with big edifices. Lots of. There's a few guards, lots of soldiers walking through here. You have every confidence, though, you're not going to run into any fool in a yellow cloak in this part, so you're kind of happy about that. You then head south towards a large, wide river that flows through the heart of the city itself. And in particular, there were two things of note about that. Where is it at? There it is. The statue there's a statue in a pool type area. You can see on your Mearscon map, it's a wide pool, and there's a statue in the middle that draws your attention as you're crossing over this bridge, slightly arced bridge. You see this statue. There is water pouring down 40, 50 feet from the upper tier. You're on the middle tier of the city. There's an upper tier and a high noble district up above that water is spilling down into. And then there's this statue there of a lady hunter with a bow out, and it's a big statue, and she's almost kind of partly canted a little bit, and the water's pouring. There's even a few boats out there with people just tootling around.
Idrisil is matching the pose even to the hair exactly as he walks by.
Is the statue in a general pose, or is it purposefully looking at some structure, or
is it like an arrow pointed down at a very specific?
At noon, you see the sun shadow that points right into the.
And we can find the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes, make a perception roll, Brenros.
Oh, all right. I think I can. Perception.
It takes 5 minutes for you guys to spool up for your first roll of the session. Where do I click?
It's an 18.
An 18. You don't see anything out of the ordinary that it's referencing or pointing to.
Does Silder know who the statue is of?
You would not know that. But
Human,
definitely,
elf?
it is a elf woman who is.
I have elfin lore.
What about Jix with some Mearscon City lore?
Hey, Jix, who is that?
Chicks make a Mearscon lore. Sildren, I heard you, but no, you still don't know.
23.
Jix, you don't know who this woman is, nor do you know what the other two statues are here in Mearscon, each in their own section after their waterfall pool type sections. So there are three, one on each tier, all of different things.
I don't know. I didn't spend much time around this part of the city.
Sildren is scratching his chin as he looks at the statue, trying to figure out what it is, and then he looks beyond at this glorious waterfall of bright blue water just falling down behind it, making a nice mini roaring sound. It's still raining a bit, and you notice something very odd that finally it dawns on you. You're not sure how this works. That waterfall is coming from a little river and another pool up above on the topmost plateau of the city. There's nothing else beyond that. The city drops really far. There's a huge cliff on the far eastern side of the city. There is no mountain range. There is no river. There is no ice supplying water to this river and waterfall that cuts through the city.
So it seems to be emanating from the pool itself.
You can't see that pool. It's above you in the upper district. You just kind of know, where the hell is this water, all of this massive water coming from?
Okay.
You guys cross the bridge and enter the Gardens District. This is a beautiful part of the city. It is filled with thick grass. There are trees of all sorts of different types. They were put together and arranged in certain beautiful ways. The area is moderately maintained. There's some thick grass or weeds here and there, but there's park benches. There's lots of little paths to walk on. There are not a lot of people right now because it's been raining so much today. You do see as you walk into this Gardens District, and it's a big district. There's a little wooden arch that you go through that's got vines over it. There are two town guards, city guards that watch you as you guys go into this Garden District, kind of raise their eyebrows.
Is this a dense garden district, or is it like normal buildings but has just some plants everywhere?
No, this is pretty much like a central park, but slightly bigger. That's just grass, fields, trees, gazebos, mini stages. It's really beautiful.
Brenros approaches Sildren. Does this seem to put you more at ease? You've been rather tense as of late with walking around these other shops and stores.
It is less oppressive, but it's still too planned, too structured, too designed. It is still not, despite the flora, it's still not natural.
No city would you ever call home then?
No, none ever.
Brenros, do you have your heraldry shown, by the way?
It is emblazoned upon my big round shield.
All right, then one of the guards comes up to you and says, "Sir Knight, good afternoon. What's happening with your band of warriors here today?"
We are traveling through the city. We are in search of some information, and we are seeking out someone as well.
He looks you up and down and says, "Very well." And Jix seems happy. You normally not allowed in this district, Jix. They are very protective of quality people coming through here. But yeah, you guys come on in and you start walking through this great spot and walk and enjoy the smells. There's a collection of flowers that have been set up along this area and some hanging vines and different trees. And all the trees are just lightly dripping the rain that's been going all day. You guys in your hoods approach an amphitheater. It is a big stone area that has those multiple giant steps. You can see there is a stone, I don't know what you call it, roof with some pillars that covers the stage area of the amphitheater to keep people out of the weather. You can see there are about 5 people that are working together in some sort of dramatic reenactment. They are doing some sort of play and talking. "Well, you take that back!" And the woman just goes, "Oh my!" And she cries and runs off stage. And then the guy starts giving a soliloquy. "And these days are bright and sunny," and starts going on, and they're practicing. And you can also see there are some wagons with lots of stone and crates and barrels that are off to the side, where you see a bunch of other people that are working, about 5 or 6 guys, but these are much more blue collar guys with big tools. And you see like some sledgehammers, you see some metal ladders, you see some mortar and all sorts of industrious-like materials they have going on as the rain gently comes down. The speaker who's giving his soliloquy sees you guys and kind of just turns 15 degrees and is excited he has some sort of audience to appreciate his practicing as you guys are kind of walking down this amphitheater.
Do these stone workers look like they could also do mining type of work?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just so walks over to them and kind of crouches by one of the guys' ears. "What kind of horrible production is this, eh?"
The guy looks at you and says, "Yeah, it was fun the first time, but when you heard it like 17 times this week, it's just terrible."
And I heard it echoing off of the stone thing the archway coming in. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. The this and that and the sun, and who cares?
You sound just like him.
I've been in a theater before. That's all I can say.
I've heard you killed at the theater the last time you were there.
I did. And they were undead, too. It was cool. What are you guys doing over here? It looks pretty hard.
So we're taking care of some construction work down below.
How far down below?
Below?
Yeah, we've got some sewer work that we've been working on. What are you doing here?
Well,
Looking for shards?
Looking for what?
I sharded, sorry.
He gets. We just had lunch. Don't worry about him. Well, we were told that there was going to be a grand performance here in about an hour or so, but, well, we've got nothing else to do. Do you mind if we check out your work?
You want to check out the sewer?
Why not?
Bravo!
It's a sewer. It smells off. What do you mean? Check out
I've
the
got a
work.
goblin. Look at him. Looks like he's aching to get in there.
I kind of like this kind of stuff. It's my jam.
He says, "Oh, I get it. No. I got too many of you coming down here looking to get into that sewer. Ever since we talked to the Arcanist Guild, we got people trying to get in, and it's a lot. We had people today already, and now you."
It just so leans in a little bit closer and just like, come on, 5 silver?
He looks and make a diplomacy roll, Sildren.
Can't believe Goblin Eyes didn't work.
Go ahead, Sildren. He said make it.
I'm sorry, Sildren. Either so.
Oh, fuck. A 13.
13. He says, "You pay me what the last folks did? Fine. 3 gold.
3 gold. Mate. And I give him a kind of elbow. I've seen worse performances on that stage.
While this is happening, can Jix just sneak down?
You can't. There are guys that are working in there. They're climbing out of the small hole and they're dumping off rocks. There's some cables they have that are bringing up and lowering some already pre-done bricks down. There's plenty of activity there.
All right.
Xander is enamored by the stage and the things that are happening on there and people going back and forth. And when he gets a moment, wants to just engage, wants to just start talking with them and seeing what's it like up here. What do you do and where do you find these great costumes and how do you come up with these voices and these lines and just starts really just investing
Okay.
what's happening up there right now.
All right.
Xander does that. Jix hands over 3 gold.
All right. You guys hear Jix digging in deep through this large amount.
Painfully, just, oh God.
He takes out like 30 into his hand, plucks 3 out, puts the rest back into it. It feels heavy. He almost starts getting tipped over. It's so heavy. Jix, you all hold out 3 gold to the guy. He says, "All right. Don't cause any trouble to the stonework." And he
Not at all.
motion towards the hole. Let these idiots in.
Who were the other people that went down earlier today, if we may ask?
Hell if I know. A couple of folks.
Hey, what do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros?
What?
Elephino. Elephino. Elephant rhinoceros.
Hey, you guys, we could be actors. These guys said that we could be part of the show.
Xander's still above ground. The rest of us have already left.
We offer classes on Tuesday for introductory level, and then on Friday we have more advanced classes.
Remember,
Xander, everyone's gone.
Hey. Excuse me. You work here, right? I can see you're covered in mud. Did
Yeah.
you see where the goblin, the elf, and the other guys went? There was a knight. He's really hard to miss.
Yeah.
He's a knight like me.
They went down the hole.
That hole?
Yeah.
Gross. Bye. And Xander jumps in.
All right, you jump in and 2 feet down hit Sir Brenros, who's kind of stuck in the area right there on this ladder. Don't pull, and you start finally squeaking down. But Xander, you're the force he needed, and out comes Sir Brenros, who falls down the last few feet, and you guys are on a raised section of stone inside of a sewer. The water here is relatively clean and appears to be coming from the river that is not too far away from the Gardens District. You can see some water passing by. It is relatively dark in here. The workers, there are 2 of them that are going down a shaft to the right. There are some, and it goes. There's darker area to the left. There's some lamps on the hanging from the wall on their right side, and you guys are on this raised section where there's a ladder that you just came down. Dropping down a couple feet is then this long river of liquid passing on by, and it's a little loud. There's reverberation, and it doesn't smell so delightful, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
As they're walking along this sewer, Jix just kind of like bends down as he walks by, sticks a finger out, and dips it in the stream, and just kind of
Just gave yourself a dirty Sanchez.
He does war paint, like,
This is no place to be. Put that down. Oh, Jix can do it.
He's a connoisseur. Ooh, excellent vintage.
Oh.
You do wine, I do this.
You got that chalice?
Speaking of which, by the way, do you have that chalice?
It should have been destroyed.
Okay, just making
ASAP.
sure. It was all right, making sure. It is destroyed then, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone like
I've got
holds
4
their
of
breath.
them in my hand.
Just keeps him on his belt.
You guys start walking down towards the lanterns. One of the workers turns around and says, hey, hand me that trowel. Wait, who are you?
Did you get trout?
I said, who are you?
Brown trout?
Beep and I! We're defenders of the realm, and we're here on a tour.
Shh, shh.
You want the other way. And he points down the dark side of the sewer.
Everyone seems to know where we're going. This can't be good. It's the phrase tourist trap, meaning buy your shirts here, you know. Are we in fact going this way?
Xander detects magic. Just
You-
right there. Just
Here-
no.
So who were these? Okay, hold on. This was just a worker down here?
Yep.
It seemed like? Okay.
Xander detects no magic.
He's right. It's the other way.
And Xander takes the lead, heading the other way. You guys walk along this little narrow ledge along the sewer and head down. It goes for some distance before the liquid section drops away. There's some vertical shaft, so all the water just thunderously goes down and disappears underneath the stone, while the stone rises up and you have a straight corridor to walk down. And you're not sure what its purpose is, and you walk down this further because the only other way would be to go down through that water. So you walk down this corridor, and you're going for some time when Xander in the lead makes a perception roll.
Hey, look at that! 23.
23, Xander, you see some shapes up ahead in the darkness. You have dark vision, is that right?
Correct.
And
Ooh,
Sir
let me double check that. I think.
and
I've
Sir
got-
Brenrose can't see. Can anyone help the man?
Yeah, Sildren will have his little trinket out.
The watch light. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. Low light vision first.
Low light vision. Then you can see Xander up ahead about 60 feet. There are 3 shapes in the darkness that you see walking and then stopping just outside your vision. And they appear to be 3 people 60 feet away.
I think there might be some more workers up ahead, you guys.
Or
They draw weapons. A sword is drawn. You can all hear that sword drawn out of its leather scabbard, and you can see some smaller knives drawn by a shorter figure in that group. And there are these 3 people that are standing off from you, 60 feet away.
Well,
No need for that, friends. We're not here to cause any problems. We can put those away.
Idrisil, you recognize the middle person has a blue magic shield appear around them, just like you're able to cast.
Is this a kind of a low ceiling, that kind of curved architecture kind of thing, or is this a pretty...
It's curved architecture for sure. It is not particularly low, so you're fine here.
All right.
For swinging your big weapon.
Idrisil, seeing the light from the blue shield, standing in the back of the group, kind of, I guess, next to Sildren, as it were, if Brenrus is in the very back, I'm gonna just grip my bow behind me like this and be ready to quick draw.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna do anything. Hearing Sildren engage and speak to them.
Sildren, Jix, what are you doing?
Pulls his goggles down.
Oh, okay.
What are you all
Target
looking at?
acquired.
I can't see it.
After seeing the blue shield, Xander will start letting the aura glow around him. This is more of no one's ever seen this before. This is kind of a ice diamondy rainbow sparkle look coming off of me. It's not like a general aura glow like everyone's seen before. This energy glow. This is a lot more like sparks almost, just kind of lighting off and getting up and around me as he's preparing a spell.
Does it scream, "Don't touch me," or?
It's shiny. It's bright. It's
bright and shiny.
Little sparkler.
You hear one of the people say, 5 idiots in this sewer versus us 3? I'll take those odds.
We hear him say that?
Yep. And then you hear a female voice say to him, just hold on, don't start something.
Okay. My grip tenses and then relaxes a little bit, hearing them kind of argue.
Sildren will step forward.
Okay.
Until I can actually kind of see them.
Sildren, you step forward and you get a look at these 3 people, and it kind of catches you off guard, and we will take our break there for now.
You have seen something you didn't expect. Come back soon.
All right, we're going to take our break, and we'll be back in just a bit. All right, you are standing in this stone corridor about 50, 60 feet between these 2 groups of combatants. Sildren, you step forward to get a slightly closer look. You see in front of you are 3 very defensive, ready to strike folks that look like they are of the same ilk as your friends. They have an adventurer vibe about them. You see one has a shield up and a mace. There is another who is a lady who's got robes on, who has that magical blue light shimmer around her. And then there's a small halfling thief. Another lady who has 2 daggers out and has that roguish look about her. And the leader of the group, the person with the heavily armored person with mace and shield, says, well, say something or do something. We don't have all day. And is ready.
Well, there's no reason for us to make enemies down in such a already foul place. We don't need to fight this out.
Really no place to fight with all this goo.
The wizard lady says, oh, I can find a way.
Why are you all down here anyways?
I think we could ask you the same thing.
You could, but I asked you first.
The halfling says, I don't think I like that guy. And he says, well, we've got business here, and our business is done. They look like they are a bit haggard. They look dirty. They are wounded a bit. You see some bruises and some dried blood on them, as though they've been through a challenging bit of a day, but they're still ready to rumble.
Do you guys have any shards? And looking for just like the recognition on their faces that they kind of understand what we're talking about.
The guy says, I don't have any shards, but you're not getting to that treasure first before us. It will be ours.
No, it won't.
Yeah, this is just a day, my friends, that you will want to give up what you're doing right now and head back the way you came. Go to an inn, have lunch, enjoy yourselves, drink a bit, and live through another day.
The guy says, you don't know who you're speaking to. You should do the same. Turn around, head to some inn, and relax in this rainy day and enjoy a day off. The halfling lady with the knife says, yeah, good luck reading everything too.
What?
The man says,
Is there secret power confusion?
Yeah.
Little ones tend to have that effect. The man says, look, I know this is probably going to go way over your head, he says to Sildren in particular, but I am a priest. I am what is called a wayfarer of Carahel, and I am on a mission. And my mission is to claim this treasure, and it will be ours. So if you are of any moral standing, or if you have any due appropriate fear, for we will destroy you if necessary, stand aside and let us pass. Otherwise, draw your weapon.
I did not think there were many wayfarers left in the realm.
He kind of gets a little defensive. Well, there's some people are learning to become wayfarers.
Sildren, I can't strike down a priest of Carahel. That just won't do.
We used to know a wayfarer. His name was Killian. Do you know him?
I do know Killian. He's off at Edlin Home. Is that where you're from?
Yes! I am Xander. We're the defenders of the realm and champions of the Grey Wolf.
The halfling lady says, who cares about that? We're the Guardians of Navarre!
Idrisil just looks at Sildren. It's a spin-off show! Kill him!
Do they have adventuring flair on them?
I have an idea! Jix, I have an idea!
What?
Let's work together! The defenders and the guardians can work together and we can defeat and find that treasure! We'll get the shards, they'll get whatever gold they're looking for. It's a win-win! And we make friends!
We're not looking to make friends, and we're not looking to work together. We know what you're up to.
Yes, you are!
No.
They
We
sound
have
like
to go
dicks.
through them.
Well, you would think the priest of Carahel would not be itching for a fight. It's rather unlike them.
How would you know what a priest of Carahel is about?
I thought Xander explained they were traveling companions of Killian's, actually. I was not. But several of these others are.
Well, when I
Or
meet
were.
him next, I'll tell him you said hi. Now stand aside.
Idrisil really gets tense when he starts talking about his old friend that way. And he steps up next to Sildren. Wayfarer, if you are truly friends with Killian, then you would not deny us passing if we called him out to you by name. If you want to fight, you're welcome to it, but I suggest you take the half-elf's advice and lower your weapon.
Make a intimidation roll.
All this while, there's another way to walk around.
The other side.
15?
15 causes them to have a quick sidebar. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, we could take him. I can totally. Well, what about that one? That one I think is a knight. I don't know. We should go after him. Okay, so we take out the healer first. Well, no, let's not. I think we've only got one hero point left. All right,
Well,
let's
he's
just
clearly
hold
got a
on.
+2 staff, so he should get a...
I'm low on heals. Okay.
Isn't your brother in this dungeon? Can't we call him over? He's level 25.
You always roll ones. Why do you even want to go?
And the priest says, "Very well. We will lower our weapons at the same time as." Do you have weapons?
I haven't even drawn my weapon.
I mean, Sildren hasn't drawn his.
No, my hand is behind
weapon.
my back, and then I take it away when I say that.
We will lower our weapons and be on our way. And he motions, and they all lower their weapons. They still have them in their hands. And we will be passing now.
Yeah,
And they start walking towards you.
We
I
start
just like,
walking
yep.
towards them.
Go ahead. No, come on.
All right.
No.
They walk on by.
I feel like we're
The
doing
little
dance.
halfling thief lady says to Idrisil, "I really like your bow." And they go right on by. And
Oh my gosh, I love your bow and your hair. It's amazing. Matches so well.
they walk in the opposite direction, heading back towards the exit. They look back to make sure they aren't going to be shot in the back. And then they disappear into the darkness.
Further into the tunnel, gents.
Like
That was really weird.
Encounter more of this?
That was weird. If they had not gotten the treasure, why were they leaving?
Well, they were pretty badly beaten up. Maybe they
There's
just
only
had
3
enough
of them.
for the day.
They said they were still looking for the treasure, but they weren't going the other direction. Oh no! Xander starts running
Okay.
in the
Wait.
direction we're still going.
All right. Xander runs ahead. Xander, you run, and then the make a perception roll, please.
Low lights! Ooh, 27.
Nice.
27. And you stop right before you tumble into a hole in the floor. You can see there's some stone bricks that have been put here and pushed aside. There's a lantern that is turned off that's been put aside, and your corridor keeps on going and going and going deeper under the city, but there's a hole in the ground right here that opens up. It's about a 5-foot hole where these bricks have fallen down. So you've got that kind of hole where it's a segmented brick hole type thing. And then there's one brick that starts to get a little bit loose, and you step back away.
Xander was going to take a ball of flame or produce flame in his hand, make a little ball, and drop
All
it
right.
in.
You guys can see Xander up ahead is doing weird, crazy little stuff like that. Xander, you are instantly pulled by magic into the hole. You see Xander just go head first, gets pulled into the hole. And Xander, what is your armor class?
What an excellent question. It's got to be at least 40. It's a 20.
You find yourself in maybe a 50-foot, 60-foot circular chamber underneath the hole. Right in front of you is this tall, ghostly-like, but golden, knight-like figure, but ethereal, and you can see through them. This figure then brings its giant sword down upon you with an attack of 39.
That hits really hard. That's almost double critical.
And Xander has been hit for 59 points of damage with the critical blow.
Oh my god. Xander's out. That is
Xander out.
10 points.
There is a huge swipe. Xander is out. You hear Xander make some terrible noise from the hole. And what would the rest of you like to
What
do?
the
So the rest of us see just Xander just drop, and then this horrible noise as if.
Yeah, it's like this. He's like, "Hey guys, watch this." You're some distance away. He drops the fire. What?
I think I'll go hang out with those other guys.
Is this what you saw? We had 5 of us.
Sildren will run forward to try to see what's going on with Xander.
All right, you run forward and you see down this hole there is a armored figure standing over the body of Xander on the ground. And it's in the circular room, and directly below this hole, a little bit off center, is a stone tablet about 6 feet tall that's got a bit of width to it, but it's got this arc almost like a gravestone, but it's a stone tablet with some sort of writing engraved on it that Xander is lying next to. You see there's another body that's on the floor, some sort of robed person, and then there's this ethereal, ghostly like golden translucent warrior knight that is standing over Xander.
When Jix gets there and looks down the hole, does the warrior knight person look reminiscent of when they went through the chain gate?
No.
Okay.
Good question.
What's
Not at
going
all.
on? I can't see anything.
Wait, don't run into me. How far away is Xander?
Xander is
Like just a straight drop is less than 60 feet, right?
No, it's just 20 feet down.
Oh, okay.
The room is about 60 feet. You don't see the whole room. Oh, by the way, Xander, make a dying roll as they're figuring this all out.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
And the knight.
Just 20. Yeah. 14.
14, you are stabilized. You are no longer dying. Sildren, you had a question?
Is the knight doing anything against Xander at the moment?
No, the knight is standing over Xander, watching closely, still has the sword in 2 hands.
Where's Xander? Why can't I get any light?
Idrisil's going to walk up next to Sildren and look over.
And can I tell if he's dying or not? Like if he's actually dead, dying, not dying, stable?
Make a medicine roll real fast.
Can I make a nature roll?
Yes, you have that skill where nature is used for medicine.
Thank
Is
you.
this a tiny space, or can we actually gather around to see in?
You're all gathered. It's a 5-foot wide hole in the ceiling that looks down, so all your heads are in there just looking down, and you just see Xander just like,
Somebody's head is between somebody else's legs. Is 28 for
Xander's
my
still
medicine
dressed
roll.
up in that BDSM gear.
yes, he
Speaking of
is.
heads between legs. Okay. Just
All right. You believe Xander is breathing and not dead or dying.
He's unconscious, but seems to be stable.
Where is the knight? Is it right on top of, right next to him, or is
Yep.
it backed away?
Right on top.
Idrisil looks over at Sildren, or I should say, is there a way to get up? Can I see a ladder or anything like that for someone to climb back up towards us? Or
You look around and you can see there is a metal spike that has been hammered into the wall of a corner, and there is rope attached to it, and it looks like it was kind of hidden and pushed off to the side.
okay,
That's up here next to you.
that's on our level. Okay, I'm gonna grab that.
Sir
Sildren-
Knight!
Sildren, we need to heal Xander and get him up here immediately. It seems that those guys were right.
Brenros is looking down now at some crazy apparition.
Cracks his neck.
A couple different things here. Would Brenros know if this is a creature of evil?
You have no idea. You've never seen anything like this before.
And is this apparition adorned with anything that I would recognize in the way of heraldry?
Make a very high society roll.
Super high.
Super high society.
High society reminds me of my teenage years.
Oh!
27.
27. You can't identify exactly what's going on, and the creature itself emanates some light. There's some lights on in there. You can't see what the heraldry is, but you get a sense it's just a very old style. You also, as you're looking down, no, you're looking at that. Idrisil, you can see there are some strange reddish lights that are just out of view. So you're looking down this hole, and you have a wider circular chamber underneath, and just out of view for where you can see there's some reddish lights slowly moving around.
I point that out. Sildren, Brandos, Jax, look over there. Those lights are moving.
What is all
Down
this?
in the room.
Yeah, they're like below us.
Jix is down on his hands and knees, like his face, like just into the hole.
Oops! We dropped something. We just want to get it back. Please.
Yeah, does the creature respond to that at all?
The creature does not respond in any way. Xander, by the way, make sure you note that you have the Wounded One condition.
Thank you.
There's no
Wouldn't wanna
response.
miss
We can't just leave him down there.
In the creature, if it can't be reasoned with, we'll have to deal with it to get Xander back.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Guys, I have an idea.
He pulls the balloon thing that Tumblepot gave him
Okay.
out and jumps down straight onto Xander.
On to Xander. All right. There is initiative being rolled for Jix and this creature. And I have a bit of a map to share. And we'll see what happens, Jix. Let's go here. Let's go to a battle view. And see if we can show the nice folks at home what this looks like. We'll go here.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, let's shrink the size.
Yes.
Let's zoom out. There we go. That should be visible on our video. And we have a Jix. Jix, you drop down and are next to Xander. The Guardian is right beside. You can see there are two reddish lights represented not by flaming spheres, but just two reddish lights that are rather large, that are just slowly moving around the room. Don't change the size of them.
Sorry.
And we're rolling initiative for Jix and this creature. Here we go. Rolling. Done. The creature goes first. The Guardian sees you drop down and lashes out at you, Jix, with its weapon with a 22 to hit.
I'm having a hard time pulling up. There it is. Like it's taken over my fantasy ground screen. So, that hits barely.
It just connects, barely gets a hold of you for a total of 20 points of damage. Don't move the spheres, please.
Yeah, try not to.
20 points of damage. Then he attacks again with a total of 20 to hit.
No.
And then it's going to try it one more time. One more time for good measure. That one looks good with a 28 to hit. For 22 points of damage, slashed by this ghostly sword.
God.
My turn.
Yes.
I grab a hold. I hug Xander and I start like trying to activate this thing, this little pouch of this balloon thing, whatever it is.
Okay.
The balloon backpack.
You pull the cord, and this balloon goes, folds out, and has somehow inflated and starts to rise. The two of you up you go, and you are floating up towards the top. You can see it's working splendidly. You're holding on to Xander, who's just hanging lifelessly in your arms. And as you get closer, you see the people above you. You guys are all just kind of shaking your heads as you see the balloon is slightly wider than the hole that it is approaching.
But we're up above the knights.
That's
You
okay.
are up above.
I have a plan for this. So the balloon is gonna basically fill up where, like, right underneath where we are, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, guys, we're gonna pop the balloon and grab it before it drops down and get them up. And Sildren pulls out an arrow, and once it hits there, it's just gonna puncture it and grab a hold of the material and start pulling up.
Okay. You won't be able to do both of those at the same time. You can't shoot an arrow and then reach down and grab at the same time.
I'm not shooting the arrow. I'm holding the arrow in my hand, and
Oh, okay.
because that should be enough to puncture the balloon, I would think.
All right. Sildren, you get down on your hands and knees. A brick starts to give way. You scoot back a little bit. The balloon comes up. Jix, you look down. The knight is not engaging at all, and it kind of just turning its head up and looking at you, this ghostly guardian. And Sildren, you stab with the arrow, and Jix, all of a sudden you hear as air is slowly being let out of this balloon, and it is slowly starting to lower back down towards the ground.
I'm grabbing at the where the hole in the balloon is and started pull up.
You start grabbing. The hole isn't that big. You start digging fingers into it. Oh, jeez. You're trying to
make the hole a little bigger. Try to find that nice balance between leaky air and handhold.
All right.
If I can.
Brenner also tried grab and hold as well and offering to pull through. This is the only thing in view right now, so he's seeing what Sildren's trying to pull it up.
So Idrisil's standing over Sildren and Brenrose, just like digging a hand in the tunnel, trying to reach. I just yell, "Everyone stand back!" And I pull out my bow and I take the climbing bolts and I just point it straight down. And I'm going to fire the climbing bolt down at the ground.
I don't like this idea.
You're not in the way.
Idrisil, keep in mind, you're looking down a hole. That hole is completely blocked right now by a balloon that is slowly descending. You can't see the ground or Jix or Xana right now. You're just seeing the top of a balloon with a small hole in it.
Oh, I thought it would go faster than that. Okay.
Nope, it's slowly dropping.
Okay.
Does that change anything? Are you still?
Yeah, that completely changes it. I do nothing.
Idrisil draws an arrow and then thinks better of it. So Sildren, you're just repeatedly stabbing at this balloon with this pointed arrow. Is that right?
Trying to get enough air out so that we can get it up out of the hole in the floor.
All right, Sildren, you pop again and pop again. Brenrose, you're on your hands and knees. Another brick starts to give way. You start grabbing onto the balloon, but there's no good purchase to grab onto anything, and the balloon descends below your grasp and arrow stabbing range.
Guys,
Well, so I never had an opportunity to actually get a hold of it.
What you did is you stabbed an arrow into it. An arrow hole is not big enough to grab onto this large balloon and pull it up or anything. You tried to get even a finger in it. It wasn't enough.
No. They're like pulling the fabric through the whole thing as it deflates.
It's like a thick pseudo leatherish balloon material that you've punctured, and it's releasing air and it's descended. There's no material to grab onto. It's like trying to grab onto a big rubber balloon.
Get my hand in the arrow hole to.
That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. It's a small arrow hole. A finger is all you could try and grab. You start trying to stab more and making more holes. You're trying to get it, and by the time you did, it's now descended beneath your grasp.
Okay.
Sorry. Physics on this one.
Sorry, Jix.
Questionable.
I tried.
It's like a mini blimp.
I mean, I have an idea for another character, but I wasn't ready to use it yet.
All right. And Jix, you are slowly descending back down with Xander. Jix, by the way, you think there's one way you might be able to gain some altitude.
You gotta heat it up.
It's called ballast.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Just a little less weight, buddy. That's all. It's a little
Some dead weight you got to get rid of.
dead weight. Little gnome's worth of weight.
Xander, I almost lost you once. I can't do it again.
Jix holds tight.
No, not the gold.
Oh, you're going to drop the gold?
We can get it later.
Oh, fine.
In 30 levels.
Jix is like, no, but then just starts like, just throwing it out of his purse, whatever he carries.
A handful at a time?
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to be.
Try to find that balance.
Frugal with it.
It ends up to be 92 gold worth of weight is required. And each one's just tinkled like tips or little wishes in a fountain down below. The gold tinkling on the ground. The guardian
If you'd
just
only
watching.
split that up beforehand, you wouldn't have been weighed down.
Says the guy who stabbed the air.
The balloon starts to rise slowly back up, and Sildren, you were able to grab a handful.
Just keep punching holes in it.
Oh, go back down!
I'm almost out of gold, guys.
And Idrisil, you help him. Brenros, you help him. You guys hold on to this balloon, and you're just holding there. You're just holding there as it starts deflating more and more and more, and the shape starts to change and become more a vertical balloon shape. And finally, there's enough of a narrowness to the balloon shape. You're able to pull it out, slide it up onto the upper area you're at, and bring up Jix and Xander safely on top.
Oof.
Xander, no more holes.
Oh, no.
Well, Xander doesn't hear you because he's unconscious.
He doesn't
I
care.
still yell at him.
Still scolding him.
Hey, we talked about this. This is what you get.
Yeah, so Sildren's gonna pull out the Staff of Healing and probably expel, I imagine, all 3 charges. We'll see what happens here. First one will be for 11. Second one is for 10. And the third heal out of there is for 9.
Rude.
Yeah.
That's 30 total?
Yeah, I believe so.
Xander, you're blinking. You're coming conscious again.
Oh.
What did you do?
I don't know. I just wanted to see what was down there. Oh, what's down there? You want me to throw a fireball down it?
No. Something very not nice is down there.
It grabbed me.
Yeah.
And then it hit me, I think.
Yeah, it did both. And then I'm gonna just does it take an hour to do healing? Like natural healing?
No, it takes 10 minutes unless you want to double the healing on a person, and then it
Or
takes
do the whole party?
Brenrose can help me out. Or not you, but Sir Brenrose. He's got hands.
Will you further heal Xander, and I'll take 10 minutes to work on Jix.
Of course.
And then that heals how many hit points, Tom?
Sir Brenros? Sir Brenros, how much do you heal?
That'll be 18 presently.
Woo, I feel much better.
At the
Xander's
end of
almost
10
fully
minutes, it would be another 18.
All right, you guys spend 10 minutes, and Jix is fully healed. Xander's only down 2 hit points. And Sir Brenros, you have your heal back ready to go. It recharges after 10 minutes.
And we're just doing this around the hole while this is...
Yep.
Probably back a few feet from it. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just waiting for adventure group number 3.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you guys go. We're go right ahead.
You can't pass. We're looking for.
They come
were
up
the
with
2
a
o'clock
ticket that
tour.
says 3.
Right. We have an appointment or a reservation.
Clearly, this place is far more dangerous than just bricks and sewers.
That was
we have-
not what I wanted to use that thing for.
No.
I'm glad you did. Almost would
Yeah.
have slaughtered us all, I imagine.
It's the least I could do. Jan, are you okay, bud?
I feel good. I feel ready. What are we gonna do?
We'll not go down the hole.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
He's got to be there for a reason.
No.
He's got to do
No.
things. Where else do
Nah.
we go?
No.
Let's Rochambeau.
What?
Rock, slices, pointer. Rochambeau. If I win, you win. If I lose,
I cut
Wait.
your tongue off.
what? No, what? No. It's the wrong game.
Knifey dicey?
Not the knifey dicey.
Brenros, looking further on down the passageway. Are there lights, or is it just ongoing, just darkness and craziness?
Ongoing darkness.
But this is that. This is the thing we're looking for. Yeah. That.
Who put
that
the rope in the
archway-
wall?
yeah.
I don't know if this is the thing that we're looking for.
Who put the
All
rope
I
in the
see
wall?
are red orbs traveling about, and this dangerous creature down below us.
Yeah, red orbs. Xander casts fireball
You're casting fireball down the hole?
down the hole. Like,
Fire in the hole!
just see if I can make
Jesus
it. Just like firing a swamp rats, right? It's like you just gotta go down the shaft. And everything
Just
blows
like
up.
firing swamp rats back home. All right.
Exactly.
All right, Zan. So this is a reflex save the Guardian needs to make.
Darn Toten.
It has made a reflex save of 25.
He made it, so he only gets half.
Half damage as fire goes.
Yeah! For 20 fire damage, so he'll
All right.
take 10.
He takes 10. He is lit up on fire. That is the first thing you see. Fire comes jutting out of the hole. The second thing you see is Xander gets pulled back down into the chamber below.
Is Brenros there for a retributive grab?
Brenros, you have no ability to grab, unfortunately. It's too fast and too magical.
There is a parable I want to spout out, but I'll leave it alone.
All right. It is a turn of initiative, and we will have first up is the Guardian that is attacking dear Xander. Xander, you are on the ground, and instantly, again, it's like a nightmare. The creature is attacking you. Let's see what happens if it gets another massive critical. It's a 25.
That's a hit, but not a critical.
That is a total of 23 points of damage.
Ow!
And it will strike with its fist on the next one. And it smashes a bit of the stone it's standing next to with a critical failure and loses its last action. Idrisil, do you want to do anything?
You said that I had access to a rope. That was it in an arrow put in the side, or what was it? What was put into
It was
the
a
side?
metal spike that
A
was
spike.
hammered into in between bricks.
I'm gonna take that metal spike with the rope attached to it and shoot it with my bow.
Okay, so the bow won't be able to shoot a spike. The second thing is the spike is hammered in between
But
two
I'm-
bricks.
Idrisil the elf. My bow was powerful. Okay, fine. Yeah, Idrisil. All right, I look over the hole. I look straight down. I take out my climbing bolt and I quick draw it right next to Xander's face.
Okay.
And I just yell, "Xander, grab the rope!"
And you fire your climbing bolt.
I fire my climbing bolt right next to Xander.
All right, you fire the bolt. The arrow goes down and hits the ground right behind you, Xander. The rope starts spooling out from a little pouch in your pack. Idrisil, you grab onto your end so it doesn't disappear, and you have a big tight line now going straight down to Xander. Anyone else? Sildren, Sir Brenros, anything you guys want to do?
So, Brenros, what are you doing?
Praying. At this point, Brenros is there. He's not going to leave him there, so it's jumping in and dealing with this,
Okay.
or abandoning Xander, which is just not a possibility.
Why is that the option? I just give him a
I
rope.
just shot him a rope. Why are you jumping? Oh,
What are
okay.
you talking about? Pull.
I will delay, I guess, a moment to see what happens here.
Is that,
although I'm preparing an action,
Okay.
which will be searing light if the creature goes to attack Xander again.
All right.
Is that creature? How far down is this?
It's about 20 feet.
About 20 feet. Right. Yeah. If Xander grabs the rope, then Brenros
All right,
will pull.
Sir Brenros holds. Then we go to Xander. Xander, what are you doing? You are face to face with this apparitional knight, golden knight.
But the arrow just landed right next to me, and they're screaming at me from up top. I did not intend to be back down here. I just wanted to throw some fire. So I will grab the rope and start to climb up.
All right, you start to climb. Make an athletics roll.
And I'm pulling as hard as I can.
All right, you pull as hard as you can. It does not help as the arrow is wedged in tight to the mortar in the ground.
It is a natural 19, which makes it a total of 19.
With 19, Xander furiously scrambles up to the top. You hold tight, Idrisil, and Xander is out, almost like a cat that's fallen into the toilet, just frantically getting out of that spot. Xander, you were out, you were back up on top, and Xander catches his breath. And then you almost see this little light bulb go off in his head. Lightning bolt!
That'll ruin it.
I can also pull the rope free with a successful interaction action.
Okay. Yeah, then you can pull it free.
These orbs, do they appear to be responding in any particular way?
Nope.
Are they moving at all, or just staying perfect?
Very slowly are they moving. Xander, you're back up on top. Anything you want to say?
Oh, wow. I don't think I should use any more magic on this guy.
You think?
I agree.
What clued you in, Xander?
He keeps sucking me down with magic.
Like twice, yeah?
Every day.
What if I held on to something?
I don't think, no.
No, it might work. There's a rope
No.
right there. All right.
No.
So mean.
No.
I am gonna, I guess, almost waste the heal at this point on Xander.
He's on the heavy side.
29.
Huge
Holy
29 heal.
wow.
That's a level 2 heal.
And then, whoop,
Magic detected.
That gets me all the way to full. Thank you very much for that. I feel great. Why are we still here?
Trying to figure out how to deal with this creature as a team together in unison.
it's very well possible this is not meant to be disturbed. These bricks, do they look like they've been pried away, or is it like damaged and down in, as though something
Damaged
came
and
up?
down in. You do see some loose bricks on the ground.
And
Pretty
Tom,
cool.
when you had described what's in there, you were talking about like I don't think it was an archway, but like a stone tablet type thing. Is that correct? So that's what was described to us by Tarkane, for us to, or no, Phineas rather.
Phineas Tumblepot.
I have no knowledge of any of this.
That's so mean, Tom. That does look like the item that we were sent to find from Phineas, yes?
Philithian shards.
the shards, and then there was we needed to make a basically a copy of something, and that does look like it.
Oh, take notes of the treasure for Arcana Society?
Right. Yeah.
Can't you take notes
that?
from here?
Yeah, can we see it well enough to actually sketch it from up here?
You can see that it's essentially a tallish slab, 6 feet tall slab of stone that's got a little arch at the top, rounded top, almost like a gravestone, but taller. And I think Jix, you spotted some etchings on one side, but you guys can't see it because you're directly above it.
Got one. Jix pulls out his rope, ties it around his waist.
Oh, and also there's a dead dude down there. There's some scattered coins, and you can see some strange, 2 of those strange blue lights moving around very slowly.
They're blue?
I'm sorry, not blue. Red.
Oh, okay. Jix ties a rope around his waist.
Someone lower me down really, really slowly.
What's your intention, Jix?
Maybe it just this guy doesn't seem to do much unless provoked. So maybe if I can just get close enough to make a sketch of whatever this thing is down there, then you can pull me back up.
What
and we
did
can be
you
on our
do?
way.
What did you do to provoke him when you were down last time?
Me?
Yeah.
I showed up in his business.
Yeah. So what makes you think there will be a different outcome this time?
Because I'm going slow.
Xander starts pulling on Idrisil's, I guess, pant leg a little bit.
What?
When he gets a chance.
What?
I think he's magic.
I know. I can see that, Xana. Yes, thank you for that glorious observation.
Sildren can turn him off.
Eh.
Bryce, if everything I try, I hit him, I got him with some fire down there, but he keeps pulling me down with the magic, but you turn it off. We're here.
And if I can't and get pulled down there as well, what then?
Well, there's a rope. Let's do this. We'll tie you up first and hold on to you, knowing that you could probably get sucked back down, and then you turn it off, and then we win.
All
How
right.
does she turn it off?
I'm asking myself the same thing.
I have
He's got
the
magic.
ability
you guys.
to dispel certain things of magic, and
That
the
right there.
theory would be if it is a magical creature, then I might be able to dispel it.
I want to do that so bad. I can't wait to watch and learn.
Which the crazy fellow here has an idea.
Jix, by the way, is all tied up with no place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still takes the
Usual
rope,
Friday night.
takes the rope from Jix and ties Sildren with the
Yeah. Okay, very well.
That's my rope.
Well, we're gonna use it for him right now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast from up here, and then if I get bounced down there, just pull me back up as quickly as possible.
I'm gonna try to make sure you don't get down there.
That would be ideal.
because I'm gonna hold the rope while you're. Yeah.
That would
All
be
right.
ideal.
All right.
But it might be. But
No, yeah. If it pulls us both, it does. But
okay,
I've got it just in case.
very good. So I am, after getting securely tied by the rope and having, I guess, Brenrose at the 20 feet end of it, where he will.
I can snap pull you up.
Yeah, so that if we get pulled in, he can pull back up. And I guess, Sildren, you're keeping it somewhat tight to try and prevent it in the first place?
While you're coming up and explaining this, do you see this face? That's
Yeah.
the eye he's giving you right there.
Yeah. That's pretty much how I expect this to go, but it's worth a shot.
All right.
All right, so that's what we're doing, Tom. And Sildren will, by the power of Kethet and cast Dispel Magic on
By the power of fuck it.
Yeah.
All right.
that creature.
You wave your hands and close your eyes and try to dissipate the magic that is this creature down below. You pull upon all your magical power and make a spell attack roll. It's not an attack, but it's the same modifier.
Okay. Where the hell do we do that?
Just make a.
It's under your abilities or actions. Sorry, actions.
Got it. Okay. Actions. So sorry.
Here it comes any moment.
Yep. Any moment now. All right. I'm just gonna do the. I think it's the same as it's what a plus. Yeah, it's plus 12. It's the same as the bow. 25.
25. You cast your spell. You guys can see weird sparkles, slightly glittery sparkles coming up off the guardian down below. And then shoom, there's this huge pulling on Sildren and Idrisil. I need you to make an athletics roll, and you need to make a athletics roll of 26 or higher.
Come on!
29.
29! Sildren is pulled just a few feet down under the hole, but you hold on to the rope. It shreds your hands a bit. You take 1 point of rope damage, Idrisil, but you hold on tight, and there is no attack made against you, Sildren, as you are pulled back up by the raw hands of Idrisil, and you are safely back up on top. The Dispel Magic has had no effect on the Guardian down below.
So we can just keep doing this until we kill it.
3 seconds of sheer terror. I don't.
Yeah, Idrisil's looking at his hands, all the wasted rope, and it's just, let's move on from this place. We can't do this without Iggy.
Are you sure? I mean, I've been down there by myself a couple of times, and he's not that hard.
You guys have come to this place to find treasure and have ended up leaving more treasure. And you've come away with.
Don't remind me. I say we put a pin in it, and we'll come back, and let's just try and find these shards we've been looking for. I think they're down this way, maybe.
You guys! We're the champions of the Great Wolf. We're the defenders of the realm. Those stupid guardians tried this and they left. We're not guardians of Navarre. We're the defenders.
Please don't jump in. Please don't jump in. Please don't jump in. Please don't jump in.
We all work as a team together.
Sildren just kicks him in.
Right, after the shards, here we go.
Jix is
If you're so worried
contemplating-
about us getting sucked in, let's do this. Tie me up, and I'll just blast him. Hold me back. I can do it. I got acid arrows.
Yeah, flaccid arrows don't work so well for you there, pal.
That's hurtful. Not for me.
Yeah, again, we'll just look at Brenros and Sildren and just
The rational ones.
are we just jumping in the hole?
No.
Rochambeau!
No.
Rochambeau!
No.
What are we doing?
If I win, we stay. If you win,
Again,
we'll try something else.
this look. Just
This disapproving Brenrose look.
Xander.
and just puts the helmet just over his head.
Sometimes a hero knows when to walk away.
1.
No. I'm not.
2.
I'm not.
Xander turns.
Xander, I'm sorry you
Tanner,
are.
you are the bravest fool I've ever met.
Everyone in the group just gives a no.
We're not meant for every mystery, so we should push on for now. This is just too great a foe.
How do you
Losing
know?
two.
You
What
haven't
do
fought
you?
it yet.
Yeah, neither have you.
I could do it.
No.
Tie me up.
Uh,
Just hold me back.
Mm.
You did it for Sildren. He's way bigger than me. He's like 3 times my size. Tie me with the rope. Watch what I can do.
I'll tie him with a rope.
Xander is tied up with a rope.
And
His diplomacy checks are working against all of you.
tie
No
me up
rolls.
as well. And Brenrose, you work with me, Brenrose, and Xander and I will do what we can against them.
Jix is looking at the combat tracker to determine how wounded the Guardian is, but he can't. determine.
I can determine nothing.
How many hit points is 10 really?
Unknown. What's the plan?
Okay.
So it sounds
Ready?
like hold on. Yeah, it sounds like Xander and I are going to be tied up. Soldrin's going to hold Xander. I'm sorry. Idrisil will hold Xander. Brenrose will hold Sildren, and we're gonna.
Jix is gonna hold his head.
Jix
Yeah.
is backing up.
And this is such a okay. So you know
Jix
it's a
is
bad
not
plan
on board with this.
when Jix, who is the master of like going forward without a plan, is against the plan.
I mean, yeah, Idrisil is just looking at all of them and just like, guys, we either jump in the hole or we leave the hole. We're not attacking from up here.
I think Jeremy's working for the other group.
We can do this.
Jix,
gotta
any
spin out.
preparatory potions you want to hand out?
That's a great question. Let me see what Jix had prepared for today. It's just Xander fighting.
Nope. Xander and Sildren will be
Both
throwing out some magic as well.
But the only potions I really have are gonna affect like melee weapons. So
Okay. All right. What are you guys doing? Xander, you were warming up.
Ready. Xander.
You're on the edge of the hole.
Edge of the hole, tied up, held back.
All right. Count it down and we'll launch at the same time. We'll both fire magics at the same time.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Searing light.
Then I'm gonna do a lightning bolt. So much light.
Okay. You guys kick back. You rear back with your magic, your hands. You both launch a lightning bolt, a big long area effect, good for taking out huge groups and hopefully large, ghostly, apparitional guardians. And at the same time, a searing light from your druid also gets launched. What's involved? I think it's a reflex save for the lightning bolt. What's involved with the searing light?
It's an attack roll.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Natural one.
Natural one.
I'm just gonna go ahead and use both my hero points on that. No.
Worst
Let me-
time
Wait,
ever.
before you
Uh-oh.
proceed, that was a natural one. You're using both hero points. I get that. There's still a moment where you go, yeah, I'm gonna walk away.
For 1 hero point, you can just step back. All right, you re-rolling. You must take the second roll.
So
What was that?
It was a 16. We take
yeah.
the first one.
Okay.
16.
16. You blast with searing light. It impacts on the ground next to the creature. Does not hit. Xander, it's making a reflex save of 27.
he saves, so he will only take half of the lightning damage, which is 18. So he takes
18.
9 points of electric damage.
Takes 9 points of damage. Zap! It does no damage to him.
Oh no! Okay.
It just braces and prepares for a gust of wind.
Zoom! There is a huge pull on Xander and Sildren at the same time. I need athletics rolls for our two masculine men up top.
Come on, you guys.
24.
24 from Brenros.
Oh.
Oh! It only takes one to there you go. Hero point for that too. For a 4? Come on!
Yeah.
And on your map, we have Xander and Sildren. Hold down. You don't take any damage. You just magically instantly pull down. The ropes get snapped from you, and you are down on the ground on your feet. And we have a fresh initiative that's being rolled for the lot of you for the third freaking time. And Sildren, you are first. You are right in front of this creature, this ghostly knight.
Spectacular. So I'm within like touching distance of it.
Oh, very soon, yes.
Shit. Shocking grasp. That is electricity. So that's probably not a good idea.
Would not recommend it.
I'm going to hold out my hand by the power of Kath and cast Disrupt Undead on this thing.
All right.
Oh!
So it has to make a Fortitude saving throw.
Fortitude saving throws being rolled. It got a total of 30.
Yep, that'll pass.
What happens on a
that's
pass?
good. Nothing.
All right. You have one more action left.
One more action will be to actually I'm gonna bring Yathane into she's gonna fly down the hole and make an attack.
Yathane, somewhere down in the sewer area, comes
Well,
swooping in.
she's been she's been hanging out, but here she comes, and that's a 26 to hit.
Is a hit from
Okay,
Yathane.
good, because otherwise we're in a lot of shit. 9 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Attacking with her jaws.
Yathane is able to bite and actually find some sort of hard surface that the apparition has, and then pulls and does some damage, and like little bits of orangey magic shape kind of fly off, almost like a Tron damage. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Idrisil, you are up top.
I am now frustrated that the rope snapped and everything, but more worried about my friend. So I look down into the hole, and I just yell for them, guys, can you read the tablet? What does it say?
You have 2 more actions, Idrisil.
Speaking is an action. What else is an action? Come on.
Okay, you can have 3 more actions, Idrisil.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna sadly turn and look. I'm gonna sadly turn and look at Brenros and just say, I don't think we have a choice anymore. And I'm gonna jump in the hole.
Okay, make an acrobatics roll, please.
I just shot him from up there.
15.
With a 15, you hit the ground and take 10 points of bludgeoning damage and are prone as you fall hard. And good news is you are down on the ground, and you have 2 actions left.
This is crazy. I don't understand how I'm taking so much damage.
Why are you here?
Dropping 20 feet. Okay. Well, you aren't getting the job done.
You're prone right now. What do you want to do? 2 actions.
So I thought I would take him. I'm just going to stay prone. 2 actions. I'm going to quick draw my bow and attack him.
That'll be like a -4 firing from a prone position.
Is he also -2 because it's a longbow and he's like 10 feet from him?
Yep, and then he'll have light cover because of people in the way. This is a really bad shot that you're at right now.
Wow, this is really shitty. And that's Alistair talking. I'm going to move then.
Okay, so that would be...
tablet.
Stand up?
Are you going to stand up or are you crawling?
No, I'm just rolling.
Okay.
I'm going to military crawl over to the tablet and try to get a good look at it.
All right, you are there on the other side of the tablet. You can see there are words that are carved into that tablet, and you start to take a close look at them. Make a perception roll, Idrisil.
Make it a good one. Got all those 4s out of your way now. Way better.
24.
24. You do see, this is a weird token to put on our map, but you do see a sci-fi object. You do see on the east side of this circular chamber, in the edge of this lower chamber here, about 7 bluish shards. They're about 9 inches long, almost look like sharp, deadly icicles, but they are blue and have a little bit of blue light about them. And Idrisil is done. Next up is what happened to my combat tracker?
I see. So there was Sildren. Well, you may have a different one. I might be looking at the old one.
Oh, the tablet
yeah,
didn't move up
it's-
a space.
Yeah, everything got all whacked out all of a sudden. We had Sildren first, right?
Yeah.
Jix hasn't gone yet.
Hold on. Jix was not supposed to go.
Hmm.
Idrisil was after that. Is that right?
Yep.
Let's just clean this up
Mhm.
real fast. Something weird happened. Okay, there we go. Jix, go for it.
Jix
You're up
runs
above.
up to the hole and looks down, sees what's going on, and stares at this apparition, and says,
There was an old lady that lived in a shoe, and she had so many kids she didn't know what to do. One of them looked a lot like you, and that old lady took my elixir a couple times, or 2. And how's it to know that your daddy is a fucking goblin named Jix?
and does a performance check against his will save DC.
Is that what that was? A performance check? Yeah. Okay.
All right, and what would this is your goblin
That's
song
his
ability?
goblin song.
All right. Will save. No, you're doing against his wills, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right, what'd you roll?
I rolled 14.
14!
I think I use a hero point.
All right.
Better.
So we'll try this again. Performance.
Whoa, nice.
27.
27. The creature pays you no attention whatsoever.
By how much?
I don't need to tell you that. You have 2 actions left.
Then, oh dear. Then he is going to throw
Make a decision.
a firebomb
Okay.
at the dude.
And that has splash that will hit some allies, just so you're aware.
It does.
Okay.
So Alchemist fire away. 18.
All right, 18. You throw Alchemist Fire down, and that's with a quick bomb, and it
Yes.
misses. And he and everyone around him though still takes the splash damage. What is the splash damage?
Splash is 4.
All right, Yathane, Sildren, Xander take 4 points of damage, as does the Guardian.
Ow. Is that how
Fire splatters.
Sorry.
Jix, you got one more action, then Xander, you're up.
Yeah, you like that, Xander?
I didn't know that's what it felt like.
It's worse, much worse when you do it.
Jix is going to
4 seconds, or you lose your action.
Jix is going to jump down into the hole.
All right, make an acrobatics roll, Jix.
16.
16.
What are you doing down here?
Flop! Jix lands with a thud, takes 10 points of damage, and is prone, hitting the ground behind everybody. Great heroic entrance. Xander, you are up.
Ah! Everyone's just falling around me.
It's raining, man. And this Guardian has its big sword up. It's going to be getting ready to start swinging at your area there, Xander. Just
Xander immediately moves to the wall. away from him. Just back.
Okay, just getting out of dodge. Is that
Yep.
right? Okay. All right. You can move to one side of the wall all you want.
I'll move myself to
for
here and cast Acid Arrow.
All right.
And I'm going to use my wand.
If you do that, you're going to put a lot of protection between the two of you. Why don't you move over to the northwest side?
That's what I meant.
There you go. All right.
Ah!
You're making an attack roll.
With the attack roll for the Acid Arrow.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah. Natural 20.
Oh, that is a critical hit.
Woo!
Good job, Xander.
The Acid
Oh,
Arrow, so
God.
he'll get like a total of 6 damage, probably. We'll see. And I'm gonna roll once, and I'm gonna roll twice, and it's gonna be 33 points of acid damage.
Ooh. Does that have? This was acid arrow, right?
Oh, actually, you know what? If
Doesn't it-
on a hit you deal 3d8, 1d6 persistent plus 1d6 persistent acid damage. On a critical hit, double the initial damage, but not the persistent.
Okay. So, short story long. What was the damage? One more time.
33.
33. It takes all 33 points of acid damage with the biggest acid arrow we have ever seen. And on top of that, it's taking persistent acid damage.
Correct.
All right. 1d8,
6. 1d6.
1d6. Persistent is boiling and bubbling with acid that is affecting its material somehow. Acid persistent. Got it. Great.
Xander was
The
initially just going to laugh a whole lot, but instead he was like, it worked!
The creature gets to go itself right now. And where is persistent? I can never remember. Does persistent happen at the beginning or the end? I never remember.
Thinks the end of his turn, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. All right. The creature's going to go. It's going to strike at whoever's closest. That would be a swipe with the sword at your healer, Sildren. Sildren, the giant sword comes your way with a 26 to hit.
That will hit.
Shoo, you are hit for 18 points of damage. It then swings the sword
I
a
have
second.
a quick thing here, real quick.
Yes.
How far away is he?
20 feet down.
20 feet down.
So I'm going to ask. He's within 15 plus a 5 reach.
What, I don't know what you're asking.
Retributive strike. With a
From
block.
from above?
That is bizarrely interesting.
Jumps down, shield first.
And shield first, superhero style. 1D
Let's
landing.
check it out. Let's check it out. Retributive strike.
There's a superhero landing on his knee. Yay!
Yeah.
Embrand Rose.
Unfortunately not. The enemy has to be within, you and your ally have to be within 15 feet. You are 20 feet away.
Exactly. So then add to that my other ability, ranged reprisal.
Well, that happens. You have to be able to trigger within 15 feet first, and then instead of having to be right next to the enemy, then you can be within 10 feet of the enemy to actually hit them. It doesn't extend the range of retributive strike. It extends the range of your hit. Does
Fair
that
enough.
make sense?
Thought I'd ask.
All right.
You're on
Okay.
your own.
The first strike hits. The second strike is a swing that comes over at Yathane with a natural 20. A critical hit on Yathane for
I don't like where this is going.
53 points of damage.
She squawks loudly and drops to the ground.
Ooh. And then it swings one more time at you, Sildren, with a 21 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay, shoo, and it misses. Then go ahead and roll 1d6 points of damage for me, Xander.
Yeah!
As it burns.
2 acid damage.
It does not get rid of the effect, and it burns a bit. Brenros, you're up above, seeing carnage everywhere. What you got?
This is very interesting. He's essentially right below me. So it's going to be the hero drop onto this creature.
You're going to try and drop down onto him. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right. You can make an acrobatics roll.
Does it have
Don't
to be
roll a 5.
acrobatics? Rolling for acrobatics.
Oh
Boy,
god.
these are dynamite rolls, but I am going for style, so I am re-rolling that.
Because you only rolled a 14 like everybody else for their acrobatics
much.
That's
checks?
crazy.
Acrobatics, second attempt.
Come
The
on!
same number.
Same number.
Oh my god!
You guys are flopping like rag dolls onto the ground like the opening to the movie The Happening. Splat, Brenrose, you are prone and take 10 points of damage, just like Iggy, just like Idrisil. And you have 2 actions left to go. Wow.
Getting up and bracing with the shield.
All right, you get up and you raise shield. You are done. And Sildren, back at the top of the round.
Lovely. Sildren's gonna fall back in a way. Yeah, Sildren falls back in a way, and then kind of up
Is this
where.
tablet important?
It's a side quest. We might be able to get out towards where the rope is, I guess. That was tied off. And then he will cast.
I don't know what rope you're talking about. There are no ropes that are easily accessible.
Wasn't there like a climbing spike with a rope attached to it?
Yeah,
It's
let's
never
say
dropped.
Idrisil did that. He was always talking about it.
Okay.
So
So kind of that way. And I'm gonna
which would mean though that Idrisil threw the rope down just for as a protective measure and then leapt down and failed. I don't know if Idrisil wants to do that or not.
It's fine.
All right.
And actually, I will draw my bow and I will attack. And I will use Yathene's special ability to help ally.
To what?
Her help ally ability.
I don't know what that is, and Yathene is down, so I don't know
Oh,
what
fuck
you're
me.
doing.
That's right.
She's very, very dead.
That changes everything. I will cast Heal Animal on her.
All right, so you're backing up, casting Heal Animal, no bow drawn.
Correct.
All right, do it.
And she's healed for 34 points of damage.
Jeez.
Nicely done.
Idrisil, you are up next. You see there is a message that is engraved onto the stone and carved. The message has some vandalism that's been done to it as well. And I can give you details on it. You can get all sorts of information, or you can use your actions for anything else that you want to do.
Yeah, I'd like to read it.
All right. The message that's
Actually.
engraved on this stone is as follows. It reads in a weird, strange, old-timey italic font chiseled into this stone marker. 1.3 miles due west from this marker, I'll read this again. 1.3 miles due west from this marker lies a nexus point. 1.3 miles west by northwest from the nexus point is the vault with the key. The vault lies within the temple of Mansilia. Speak his mantra to open the doors. And to make that easy for you, I can just put that into the chat window. See if that helps. There you go.
Thank you. You're just so, okay, guys, 1.3 miles due west from this marker. Was not.
You have 2 actions left.
Yeah, takes note of that. You mentioned there were a number of blue objects.
Yes.
Kind of behind me. I'm gonna go over to them and pick those up.
All right, you go over there. You see there are about 7 to 9 of these shards on the ground, and you scoop them all up and put them in your pack. You are done. Jix, you are doing what? You're on the ground, I believe, prone.
Yeah, Jix will get up,
Okay, that's 1.
and then he will throw an acid flat. He saw how well the acid worked for Xander, so he throws an acid flask at this apparition guy and misses.
All right. Is there any splash with that?
And misses.
There is. the splash is weird on this. So the way Acid Blast works, it does 1 point of damage, and then it does 2d6 splash. No, that's persistent. No, it's 4 splash. Just 4 splash.
4 splash. All right, Sir Brenros, you take 4 splash. The Guardian takes 4 splash. And
What is this?
Die!
and Yathane takes 4 splash, giving some damage to poor Yathane.
Don't drink it.
Jix, one more action.
Hold on.
And he throws another one. This time for 20.
With a 20, you throw and miss. Everyone enjoy 4
Stop
more
throwing.
points of damage.
What is up with you people?
Xander, speaking of collateral damage, Xander, what would you like to do?
What wouldn't I like to do? Xander's gonna cast another acid arrow.
No more acid.
It's my way. And he rolls a 27.
Shoo, a big, blobby, weird pointer arrow of green acid slams into the creature. You hit.
Yeah, with 19 damage. Let's go.
All right, the creature is starting to show some damage and some wear and starting to move a little sluggishly now with that hit. You have one more action, Xander. Anything you got?
Yeah. Xander's going to take any of the gold that's on the ground and turn it into a shield up and around him. Just gather everything up like he does with stone.
You're shielding yourself. All right.
Make a shield.
The Guardian goes next. It brings a big blow across Sir Brenros with a 29 to hit.
29 will succeed.
Brenros, you are hit for 24 points of damage.
24. Hold on, gotta do a little math.
Are you going to block some of that with your shield? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm blocking some of that.
All right.
Let's
Your shield gets
see.
hit.
10 off 12. Sorry.
Go ahead.
24. Okay, and done. Okay, go ahead.
All right, and the second hit comes in and hits you for 27 to hit.
27 will make contact.
That is 20 points of damage as you're hammered and hammered again with this ethereal-looking blade. And then a 22 to hit.
That will make contact but do nothing.
All right, and you were able to absorb that last blow. And Brenros, you're up. You just held up your shield, got hit multiple times.
That is that. All right. Whoa.
Go on, Brenros.
Bum, 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 bum.
Hit it with acid.
At this that this apparition undead.
Oh, I'm sorry, before you go, Xander, roll a d6 for acid damage.
Yes, please. Yeah. 3.
3, it does not get rid of the damage. Go ahead, Brenros.
All right. I'm assuming I have to make a touch attack if I need to make contact with him. I do not have, or no, I do have. It's gonna have a fist. There it is. So it is undead, I believe.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
We don't
Maybe.
know for sure.
Yes. I mean, no. I mean, who asking?
I'm new at this apparently. So I'm trying to do a lay on hands, doing the damage in reverse to the creature in front of me.
Oh, you're trying to do some damage to
Yes.
it. I see. All right. You put your hands upon the creature, release magic to do actual damage to the undead creature, and nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
You have expended your lay on hands, unfortunately, and you have some actions left.
And then I lash out with an attack.
Good luck.
23.
23, swing and a miss. One action left.
Does he have flanking because Yathane is there?
No, you got to be on opposite sides.
Then the shield goes up. I hold my ground.
For defensive purposes. All right.
Right.
And don't forget that shield up does give you that bonus to your armor class. Sildren, you're on the south part of this room. Essentially, we have Sildren to the south. Northwest in the circular room is Xander, and the northeast is Idrisil.
Sorry, I forgot something very important, and I went specifically to look this up. It does modify his armor class by 2 full points in the negative.
What does?
Touch attack. It did no damage to him, but does he suffer the other effect, which is a -2 to his armor class?
You see no effect upon him at all.
At all. Never mind then.
All right.
This is amazing.
Sildren.
Okay, so Sildren will draw his bow and fire an arrow at this creature while Yathane does her assist ability, which is basically if I hit, she does the bleed damage, but then also dazzles them.
Sure. Clawing at it somehow.
Yes, but I need to make my attack roll first. I have so many windows.
Keep it going.
I got it. All right, attacking now. 27.
27 is a hit. You don't get many arrow hits.
Oh, and that's for 4 points of damage.
Ooh.
But then, but there's more to it. There we go. Support. Rake eyes. So she will do adds 1d4 persistent bleed damage, and then just dazzle them.
1d4 bleed. He can have those 2 different types of persistent damage, which is great. And dazzled. Got it. Are you? Yeah. No. Are you done?
Yes.
All right. Idrisil.
Idrisil gathers all of the.
You've got all those shards. You're good to go.
Shards. So he looks back at the beastie and notices that Brenros is just still in the way, not moving at all, standing there chopping. I'm going to hunt prey. I'm going to move, I guess, just like south of the fireball to there, so I have a clear shot, I guess.
Okay.
Is that
Sounds good.
is my last action here to...
Do a double shot?
Yes, I'm going to do 100 shots on the prey
Okay.
with... How about...
Roll.
Again. Oh, great. With an 18 and a 23.
You shoot and you miss, and then you miss, unfortunately. You are having a rough battle. You fire 2 arrows, and the arrows miss, but thankfully they do not hit Sir Brenros. And that is it. And you do have it marked now. Jix.
Jix is going. Yes, Jix is going to whip out some alchemist fire.
It's like a question mark. Alchemist fire.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Here we go, guys.
It's just Brenros just looking over his shoulder.
26.
26. Boom! There's an explosion. You connect with the guardian.
Yes. It's gonna be where the crap is. There we go. 17 points.
17.
Fire.
Nice.
Got it.
That's 4 splash to the surrounding folks.
All right. The Yathane takes 4. I know this is endless splash, and Brenros, you take 4 fire.
Yes.
But he does. It will be persistent. Or there will be persistent damage.
There is persistent fire, acid, and bleed damage going on right now.
Yeah.
I didn't hear how much persistent fire. What's the persistent fire damage?
The persistent fire is going to be. Oh, let me look it up. It's going to be.
Why did
3.
you close it? 3 persistent fire.
And then that's my first action.
And actually, we have to move you slightly, otherwise you're having a penalty. So you have to move in some way because of Brenros is in the way.
You are kidding me.
But we'll recon real quick, and I'll pull
about
out
that?
and drink my Bomber's Eye elixir, and that way I
Okay.
can stay behind Brenros and not suffer the penalty to circumstantial
Okay.
AC.
Xander, you're in the northwest. You're about 25 feet away.
Yeah! Acid arrow!
It's just unleashing these big bombs.
And he's gonna. Whoa, that was a lot of rolls. I clicked
Uh.
once. The first roll was an 18.
And 18.
I spent a hero point. And the second roll, I will re-roll if you want me to, because
Yeah, re-roll.
Let's do it. Yeah! 24.
24 flies through the air and misses. It impacts not too far away from Idrisil, who's already having a rough combat and glares at you across the way.
And oh, you know what? Nope, that's gonna take two. Shield back on.
Shield back on. Well, that's good news because you have a rather unraged guardian charging after you.
Charging.
It comes moving fast across the room, charging at you, Xander, having had enough of your acid blasts.
No.
And then it attacks poor Xander, the gnome with the natural 20.
But hold on. It is dazzled, so roll to see if that actually went through.
Oh, that's right. So it needs to roll a 5 or higher on a natural 20, and it's fine. And a 4 or less, and it's a miss. It rolled a natural 20. Oh my God! It has you locked in with Terminator. Sarah Connor, you have been hit with a critical for the second time this day by this creature. This time, the damage is only 51 points of damage.
You guys, I'm only down -2.
Shoo! Xander is destroyed and dropped. You are already at wounded 1, so you are now at dying 2.
It's okay. I think he was out of acid arrows anyways.
That's what you want to think.
The creature strikes a second time and hits you with a 25 and immediately slams Xander on the ground again. You are now at dying 3, Xander.
Oh my
Did
God.
he roll the dazzled effect?
I did not. I keep forgetting. Thank you so much. He has failed and does not actually hit you that second time.
So just dying too.
Ooh.
You're at dying 2. Good catch with the dying. I'm going to roll.
Sorry, real quick. How do I change? How do I turn up the dying effect? All I've got is dying 1 at the moment.
Hey, someone help him out. I'm doing some math. There's a lot of sizzling and burning and bleeding and fire persist and all sorts of nasty effects on this creature. Let me take
Maybe
a
just
look
clicking
here.
again.
Under main, Xander, where you put in the hit points, you can change your dying level.
Thank you.
The acid stays with it. The bleed stays with it. The fire stays with it. It cannot get rid of these conditions. It's still in the fight. Xander's in bad shape. Brenros.
4 acid for Xander's side.
I already rolled. I rolled it real quick for
check,
everyone.
check. Sorry.
Oh, you rolled for everyone. All right.
I got everyone in real fast. What do you got, Brenros?
All this. I've got to do my own charging. Hopefully, it's within 20 feet.
Yep.
So I make pace up to him and attack.
You get a flanking bonus from Xander, which is, I don't know if that's ever happened before.
Holy cow. All right.
Idrisil's just watching all the angles.
A natural 20. With flanking, that'd be a 36.
That's a critical one way or the other. You got
And
it.
with the natural 20, he's not in my way at all. He's completely out of the way of any possible arrows.
I'm not in charge of moving. I just go where I go.
Does your weapon have an effect like the maul does on a critical?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe so, no. But it's sharp. Here we go. Max damage, 20 points.
Yes. Get him.
37 points of damage.
You can take it down.
Nice. Well done.
Yes.
Let's see. It struck Xander down with these big, huge, heavy swings. Brenneros comes raging over. The first attack just cuts his head clean off.
Yeah.
The second attack removes his weapon arm. The third attack severs a leg and he just collapses to the ground. It's just one big chopping action.
As things quiet down, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arrows get shot into it in frustration from the other side of the room. As Idrisil finally gets some shots in.
They like warp around Brenros to go in.
Idrisil's just still there picking up shards and then turns around and is like, oh, you guys done?
And then Brenros gets some splash damage for no reason.
Right. I will heal Xander with a level 3 heal. 4.
Idrisil relays the message on the tablet and tells everyone to read it if they don't believe him.
38 hit points, Xander.
Whoa, nice. At least.
Xander, you blink back conscious, and you are now at wounded level 2.
What happened about me?
It was acid everywhere. You did a great job, buddy. You killed him. Good job.
Done.
Go Guardians!
This creature in front of us, this is mechanical or is it dissipated?
It fades away.
Fades away.
Yes.
What's going on?
Looking around the room, is there any, I guess, lever or any type of device, anything that can help us get back up?
You see no lever, no device. You see a door that is leads out of this room that looks huge, big stone door with some strange carvings that look somewhat animalistic, but they're very vague. There's and you've got the shards. There's a dead dude. You guys
Sildren's
are bloody.
gonna take a look at the dead dude to see if he has anything of value on him, and also I think we're gonna probably Sildren would like to take him with us, ideally to give him back to his group.
Okay. You take a look at the guy. He appears to have died within the last 2 days, maybe about 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
He's wearing a robe and has like a little old rusty scimitar that looks like it's been broken. He does have something on him of interest that you find. He has, where is it? Xander is able to just walk around. As you're sitting there checking the guy out, Xander's behind you just with his hands in the air. No. And Xander is able to help identify that this man has several different magic items on his person, including his robe and 2 rings around his cold, dead fingers. And he has a single piece of paper tucked in his pouch as well, with some note on it. And that's what you've able to get from this particular fellow. And 7 shards, 7 Denobrian shards of what you have found, Idrisil.
Hey guys, look! Look what I used for my shield. There's all this gold. I'm just picking up the gold off the ground. No, we can also too. So Xander just starts collecting the gold.
Xander, do you want to split that between us equally?
Yeah, let's all share.
Okay, go.
Part of everything we got here.
Are these orbs still moving about?
They fade away and their light goes out and it just gets a little bit darker.
That doesn't do me any good. I've really got to invest in a torch.
It's a stone door? Wood door?
Big stone door.
And it's open, closed, ajar?
It is closed. You see no means of opening it.
And real quick question: the guy that's dead here, he's definitely been dead for a couple days, so he's probably not with the former party that just left.
That's for you to decide.
But he's definitely been dead for a couple days.
For probably 2 days is your best.
To verify that.
Well, other than the clothes on his back, is there any type of necklace or any signifier that we could take with us?
You see the 2 rings that he has.
Actually, he doesn't.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm assuming Sildren took those.
So no identifiers on the man.
I cut off a finger. No.
Sildren's just going to arrange him in a natural position, say a little prayer to Keth for him, and be done with it, I guess.
All right. What's your plan?
We're going to take his fancy robe, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And replace it with we'll put like a cloth over him or something.
Sure. You got his robe, you got his rings, you got his note, you've got the shards, you've picked up Jix's gold. You guys spread that out amongst each other, is that right?
Correct.
Yes.
18 each, and then
Jix is very unhappy.
unless we want to split it 6 ways and give Iggy some.
Yeah,
as well.
that's the question.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that would be fair
I think that would be fair.
It would be.
because he was there when we got it. Well, when somebody got it. That's basically 15 each.
Basically.
15.33. So 15 gold,
plus 1.
3 silver, and you can take the 4 silver, Jix, for your trouble.
I will. 15 gold, 4
50
silver.
gold, 3 silver. Yo!
With the note written down by Idrisil from the carvings on the stone marker, you guys are able to climb back up the rope if you want, as the door does not seem movable in any way.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
You make your way up, and as you're waiting for everyone to get up to the top, Sildren, you take a look at this torn note
Yes.
that was on the body, and there is a message on there that reads the following. And I actually have a little image for our viewing audience to see, as well as you guys. The message reads, "The city is renamed. Mearscon, they call it. I recognize a few faces, but much is new and different. I was allowed several hours of research time in the reading room of the archives of Carahel. My subject of interest for this trip is called the Exile Blade, a powerful relic from long ago. My research has led me to believe it lies abandoned in the realm of Elder Sphere. Though the readings suggest it would be foolish for me ever to try to get there, my relentless curiosity in recovering such a powerful artifact is certainly piqued. Signed, Onirius the Feathered Sage." And we will stop there for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. Thanks for checking out the show. We will be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. at twitch.tv.com. Don't forget to join us on Discord and join the conversation and share your thoughts. And we will see you next time. Thanks so much.